Okay, I'm live. Everything's good. Checking something real quick. Holy shit. A lot of my stuff is just taking the fuck off, and I'm psyched about it. Okay, bam. That is not doing well. Okay. Hey, what's up, Colleen? How you doing? Live. One of these days, I'm gonna manage to start on time, but it has been a fucking while since I've done that. I am consistently busy. Feeling off? Why are you feeling off? Oh, that reminds me. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, why feeling off? Bam. This because I don't know if it's because of the mod or just because of the way GOG loads Fallout 4, but it does not have like the right type of windowed full screen that I like. Okay, let's see if that changes it. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do sometimes for sure. Cutting out the negative parts of your life and just cutting connections with people that aren't positive towards your life, aren't positive influences in your life. It sucks and it's painful, and it's necessary, unfortunately. Like, I considered last year my year of cutting cords just because of the number of friendships I just ended, because I was like, you know what, this is toxic. This is toxic, and I don't enjoy being your friend anymore. That a little bit. Mm. I ended up cutting out a lot of people last year, actually. Okay. What is my goal right now? Oh, yeah, that's right. To find what's his nuts. What do I got? What do I want to do? I need to change that. If I just do top chat on YouTube instead of live chat, it likes to just hide messages from me sometimes, even though they're not spam or anything. People are just weighing me down. I just need to rid myself of energy. That's perfectly fair, yeah. There are people that just do that. That just... They just take. Even if they're not, like, actively taking, their existing in your life is taking from it. I'll admit, I really am not a fan of the layout of the perk chart here. Fallout 4 really got it right. I do have the cannibal perk. Human ghoul and now resources significant amount. Let's see. Iron Fist, I don't use unarmed. Armor, I have one level of. Do I already have blacksmith too? Or do I not have... Do I have armor? Whoopsie daisy. I have not learned rank 1 yet, so I don't have armor. That's saying I could get to armor. Let's see. Animal friend, local leader. Haven't even discovered a single... a single settlement yet. I'll get armor. I'm gonna end up having to be like super tanky just because I'm doing melee, which means I'm gonna need to soak some hits. No longer in your life, but the toxic energy is not helping at all. Is it someone I know? So I know a lot of people like that. Let's see. We're going to the ferryman, the ferryman, the ferryman. We're going to the ferryman, and we're gonna kill something? Yeah. Oh my god, burp. Let's see what you gotta say. Are you taller than me? No. I guess that's one cool thing about playing on PC too, is the very specific adjustment you could get to field of view.
Good to see your friendly face.
Gotcha. Have you recovered?
The
Oh,
boy's stubborn.
the wrong thing.
If he's going to survive in this city, he needs every advantage he can get. He'll need to pick up a gun sooner or later. You can have it. It's not much, but it's reliable.
Have you recovered, friend?
Not entirely, but I'm sick of that infirmary. Now I need to get out on the open sea. Feel the wind on my face. Well, then I'll get better.
Here's the thing, buddy. I need you to take Archie back across the Thames. The River Thames.
I have no objections. Truthfully, it would be good for my conscience. There are places north of the Thames where a boy could live a normal life. The sanctuary at St. Paul's would take him. Though I'm not sure why you need him to cross.
I just need him out of my hair, dude. Why would it be good for your conscience? What did you do?
Whether I like it or not, the boy became my responsibility when he jumped onto my boat. And it seems I've taken him to one bad place after another. If I could find some good people to take care of him, I can wash my hands of this ordeal.
And just pawn the child off to someone else. I get it. I get it. That's what I'd do. Just leave him down in the whatchamacallit, the Thamesville. I'm trying to find the lab he escaped from. I need you to take him to the dock where you found him so we can retrace his steps. Why am I saying that weird?
That makes sense. I'll take him back there. But I'll need your help. While I was lying in my sickbed, a group of hooligans marched into Bermondsey and shut the gate. Getting through won't be easy, but it's the only route out onto the Thames.
Why did the hooligans take over the Bermondsey? They're the ones I'm friends with, right? I can tell them to go.
I suspect they're using it as a staging ground for raids. Bold of them to set up shop so close
I'm
to
friends
a
with it.
Tommy outpost.
No, the Tommies are the enemy. How hard can it be to open the gate? Those things are fucking heavy, dude.
Getting through the gate should be easy. It's sailing through hooligan territory that puts us one foot in the grave. You'll need to provide us cover fire while I get us out of there. The button that opens it is up on that crow's nest. You can reach the button by lowering the crane. The way up is via a makeshift bridge by the riverfront. Be careful. Do you smell that? It's the Thames calling to us.
That is the smell of shit, my friend.
Oh, sorry about that, human. Your kind does have. It's always a.
Okay, so you just gave me a task and then stopped talking. Okay, cool, thanks. Why so many fucking rads? The amount, like, you're so squishy. In London, you are so squishy. And I don't have any more rat away. Shit. Let's go. Shit. Jump, jump, jump. I miss having my jetpack from Fault 76. How do I get over there? They want me to parkour this shit because I don't know if I can. I don't know if my jumps are good enough. Yeah, why? God, fuck. Hello, Callan? Colin? Well, I just scarfed down 2 quarter-pound hot dogs, so that might be why. Whoop. Okay, good. Good. Scheiße. Die. I'm stabbing you. You're a roach. How's a stab not killing you? Jesus. Whoop, whoop. Didn't mean to do that. Hello, friend. That is why I keep hiccuping, yeah. The fuck? We need to go this way. Shut! Found me from a YouTube short? Which one? Right now, I'm just waiting for my second dose of Adderall to kick in, because it started wearing off, but right before I started streaming, I forgot to take the second one. Lowering... Awesome. Huzzah. This is a very interesting way to do area protection in a post-apocalypse. Just have a crane that moves a gate. Which is also, I think, what a lot of not Dead by Daylight, Dying Light did. The dislike one? Are you talking about gatekeeping, Nickeldack, or being unnecessarily negative? Like, is it the one I just posted? Because those are all kind of tangential to that. Where do you want me to go next? Oh. Is that gonna... anything happening? I don't know where to go next. Oh fuck! God, I'm gonna get radiation sickness. I'm gonna die from radiation. I have so little health left. Never mind. Parkour. Did it. Didn't parkour in the right direction, and that didn't get me shit. What? Well, hello, Callan. What? I don't listen. You're gonna have to tell me how to say that because I have no idea. Hello. You couldn't fucking... What? Why did... Oh, because of the... Yeah, because he needed me to move the gate. That's right, I'm stupid. That's the exact point of the question. Listen, I'm stupid and currently waiting for my meds to kick in. You had to stop taking some pills today? Yeah, I only take a few a day now, but for a while there I was taking a lot, and that is not good for your kidneys.
And we'll meet you at the dock.
Just twirling my knife. What do I need to put something else up because yes, this is technically my best weapon right now, but I'm really, really tired of it just spinning around constantly. It is fucking annoying. Cal like Caltech and N like the word Callan. How am I liking Fault London? It's... I was looking at chat and I didn't notice I died. I was looking at chat and I didn't notice I died. How did I die? That was like a cinematic. I'm liking it a lot. Like, it's a really fully fleshed out game. It's giving me like slight Dishonored vibes to an extent. Just because at least where I'm at right now, it feels a bit more linear. It feels a bit more like you're going one direction. But with a bit of openness, so it's giving me a bit of Dishonored vibes in that way, and it's probably the accents too. But it's interesting. It introduces a new bunch of stuff.
There's a storm coming.
Oh, you have a procedure, that's why I had to stop?
In the Thames barrier. It's too risky to transport the three of us across such choppy waters.
Okay, clearly something attacked me. I want the gun out. I'm doing a melee build, but melee's not super useful if I can't move to stab them.
And we'll meet you at the dock.
Okay, well, welcome, Callan. Happy to have you. I could just kind of gravity myself off this. That's, What the? How am I even supposed to survive that? Okay. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to get my rads taken away and get myself healed up, but rad away is fucking expensive in this game because they want you to be super squishy. That's the one thing that's kind of annoying me. I like it conceptually, but it is annoying me a bit how squishy you are. Because I think I have 8 endurance. I have 7 endurance. And still super squishy. Like, to an insane degree. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's just one-shotting me, like early game stuff that's one-shotting me. It's kind of annoying. But it's cool in concept because it makes it harder and makes you have to think harder, but it's just like, it's not what I'm used to. So it's... I'm having to adjust to playing Fallout as something super squishy. Especially because I play a lot of Fallout 76. In Fallout 76, you are not squishy at all. Or at least I'm not. I've spec'd out really hard for being tanky as shit. But how are you today, Senpai? I'm still anemic. The procedure shouldn't be too bad, but the prep is gonna suck. Yeah, I imagine. That does not sound fun. Okay, Callan. Well, I stream every day. I stream Thursday through Friday, 2 to 8, and then I stream on Sunday. Usually try to be 2 to 8, but a lot of times that one's different. And in the meantime, I got a bunch of other content you could watch if you find it interesting. But thanks for coming out. If you want, here, I'll drop this if you want to get in the Discord. Bam. I don't know how I'm supposed to get past this, because I can't... I can just fast travel. That's... duh. Let's fast travel to... Where is Thamesville? Thames Haven. Who's texted me? Who's texted me? I'm well and playing on survival difficulty. It's hard to get anywhere from early on. I don't think I'm a survival difficulty. Yeah, I just have it on normal. But yeah, I imagine survival difficulty is just that much worse. The radiation alone, the fact that, like, you get 250 for being in the water, and it's so hard to escape the water.
Hey there, Wayfarer. Need any medical help?
I'm looking... Oh my god, I hate... I hate... How do I get rid of that? How do I forgot how... There was a way... I can't remember what the way is to fucking put the goddamn knife away. Because I'm so tired of it just being like, every 5 seconds, let's just spin around as much as humanly possible.
You smell that? It's the Thames calling to us.
It's holding R, got it. Nope. Yeah. That's... It's so obnoxious.
Need any medical help?
Why? Why the fuck? Why?
Fix me up.
Stop! What's the control? Ready, reload. Sneak, run, toggle. I thought it was the ready reload. I'm tired of that fucking knife. See, he's putting it away. It is away. It is not in my hand. How's been the...
It's been good since all those critters infested the lower levels. Good for business, bad for Tumsy.
I would actually like medical treatment right now. That would be great. Thank you. That's not what I was trying to do. Adjusting to playing this on PC when I'm so used to playing Fallout on console is really hard. Okay, Admiral's hat. Oh my god, what? I got hit by a wave of tired. Radaway. How much is Radaway? Okay. Just, can I get, is there any way I'll be able to afford 2? I don't want to get rid of any of this. I might get rid of you just because you're fucking annoying. I'll get more of these. I'll be able to get more. I didn't want to get rid of them. Navy rating cap. That's not what mine looked like, but this is old-timey. I'm gonna get rid of all of that. I can get more. I don't have to be styling. That's fine. Okay, what is there that's worth selling? I kind of want to keep this because in case I need it, in case I start dying. I know, right? Like, I want to be styling, but I don't have to be styling. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, ideally, I want to be styling, but it would be ideal. It's not a necessity. What I'm saying. You get me? You understand? I just remembered I have cheese. I got cheese at Wawa because I went to cook something and realized I didn't have all the stuff for it. So I went to Wawa, got hot dogs and cheese. I'm healthy. I'm a fitness model. Fitness icon. Oh, I want the right away. Okay, say the doll. Anything here worth shit? Okay, fine. I'll sell the 32 rounds. Then I'm not going to sell the lead balls because I want those. I'll sell the 280 rounds. I'm going to sell so much shit.
What's my balding man doing?
I'm doing great, Randy. How are you?
I'm glad you're accepting the balding. That's great. I'm having a time. You wanna get a little mad with me?
Yeah, let's get a little mad with you.
You up for that? Okay. Today, I'm at work at 6. I'm busting my ass for 4 hours before the next guy goes up. Right? We got a thing we got to prepare for the upcoming week. I'm busting my ass. This dude comes in. My coworker, who's assigned with me for a couple weeks, while they're waiting for a new hire, and I fucking hate this guy, right? For the story, his name is Chris, but also he's named Chris. Fuck this guy. All right, so Chris is someone who comes in from the other location. He has a reputation that I learned about from my first day working there. My first day working there, he was caught hiding from doing his job 4 different times.
Like physically hiding?
Physically hiding, going into different break rooms and literally fucking hiding, except I am being given a tour of the facility, and we find him in each break room trying to hide in like little areas where there's snacks.
But wait.
Going all different fucking snacks.
You're not allowed to have phones, right?
No.
So like he'd rather be doing nothing than doing work, is what you're saying.
Yes, and every single time he was found, when my boss is giving me the tour, my boss tells him, hey, you're supposed to be manning the front desk for if customers walk in, go back. Told that 4 different fucking times on my first date. It's like, this guy's got a reputation. One of the other people that got sent with me recently, recently got so frustrated. The reason they had to come to my location was because they took a stack of tokens, like unregistered CACs,
Yeah.
and chucked it at Chris's head because Chris kept unloading his work onto this guy. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. And now this guy's trying to do it to fucking me. And
Hold on. You
having
cut
it.
out. You cut out. Okay, go back. Start again.
All right. What part? What was the last thing you heard?
Throwing a bunch of cacks at his head because...
Yeah, because he kept offloading. Chris kept offloading his work onto this guy. So this guy had enough, and he threw an explosion of cacks at this dude's head. Right as the boss walked
Explosion
in.
of cacks.
Yeah, cacks. And so anyway, this guy over here, right now he's with me. First off, he got fucking banned from my facility, but only recently got unbanned. He got unbanned because the guy who banned him retired, and so he all of a sudden can just come back, which doesn't make any sense to me. But he got banned for saying some wild shit and being incompetent. Well, that hasn't changed. So he has had this issue on him, which just requires swapping out a piece of hardware. It's been on him for 5 days now. We have a time frame turnaround of we will complete your issue in 3 days. It's like he's already past that because he can't fucking figure it out. He keeps hinting to me that he's gonna have me do it, but I'm too busy with other shit all week to do it, so I'm not even giving him the time of day. He's been in the job for 8 years, and I've been in this job for 3 months, and he doesn't know the basics of how to do any of the imaging shit that we're doing. Or, as I found out today, how to even log into a phone with his phone extension. And then, holy shit, this is the part that got me mad. So there's all the incompetent stuff, right?
Mhm.
He's even going, and we're supporting government people, and one of the people that we're supporting, he goes off 2 days ago, and I had to report him for it, because he's going on a whole fucking rant about how to one of our government contacts, how our government contact is an asshole, a motherfucker. He did a whole spectacle of making a motion of sucking a dick, and then saying that our government guy is the reason that no one likes to come over to our location. So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is the people that we're supporting.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I fucking reported him for it. Because my boss told me to write up an email and to do it. So I was like, fine. But then I had to report him again today. And here's the reason why. The only reason this guy has a job is because my boss constantly tries to support him and back him up, because he knows he's not going to have a job if he goes anywhere else. So what does this guy do in response? My boss today is on bereavement leave. He just started his bereavement leave. He had someone pass away, and he's just now being able to take it. The person who passed away around like a month ago, okay? So this fucking dickhead, Chris, comes in and says, I don't get why he's on bereavement leave. It happened a month ago.
Oh.
And that got my fucking blood boiling. Because it's like, one, you don't get to put a fucking thing, like a time frame on people's grief period. And two, this guy's the only fucking reason you have a job. Don't say shit about this guy. He backs you up constantly. Oh my God, I got so fucking mad. And so he looks over at me, and he starts talking about this issue that he hasn't been able to do in 5 days. And keep in mind, throughout this entire time frame, it's not like he hasn't like been asking people for help. I have constantly been giving suggestions for things to do, and then I know that he's not doing them because he's not filling out the proper forms to get different hardware and trying to swap things out. He hasn't done any of it. He's just walking around and hiding in rooms where there's no one at, then hopping onto a computer. Then when someone walks in the room, he leaves. And I know he's doing it because I fucking caught him doing it 3 times this week. There's no reason for him to be in those rooms at all. And then, Jesus Christ. So he's talking all that shit and everything. And then he comes to me and tries to offload the work onto me, saying, hey, the lady who I've been doing this job for all week, she's going to be mad at me. So I need you to run interference. And I looked at him and I said, who? He said, you. And I said, I said, I'm not doing that. He's like, but I'm old. And I said, I don't care.
Dude, he literally just said, but I'm old.
He did. He fucking did. That's why we get away with work over in Suffolk. Oh my God.
I literally am posting the fucking mental health excuse podcast episode today. And that's like, but I'm old.
He literally said that was the excuse, not a reason. A reason could be I'm old and I struggle with certain things, but I'm trying. No, it was, I'm going to avoid these people because I'm old.
How old is he?
Well, he just collected Social Security.
So like 62?
In his 60s. Yeah.
62 or 65. Some people wait till 65.
Yep, and he's been with the contract for 8 years, and he doesn't know how to do the job. And I told him no. He told me, I'm old. I said, I don't care. And then he looked scared because he realized I'm not going to do his fucking shit, and he went off. And then he was starting to call people all day trying to get help for his issue. Meanwhile, I provided all the troubleshooting steps that he needed to follow, and he couldn't fucking do a thing. God damn. Like, that is...
Yeah.
I'm so heated.
No.
So fucking heated.
And his,
on my way out,
his job...
On my way out...
What?
Oh, I got one last... He just talked shit about my boss and bereavement relief, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because he can't figure out what to do or follow any of the instructions I've given him, guess who he calls?
Your boss.
My fucking boss on bereavement leave!
Oh my god, holy shit. Oh,
That's been my fucking day! That's been my day, Zach! I'm pissed! And that's when I found out he can't sign into a phone because he wasn't using the phone at his desk. He was using a phone several desks away where no one was sitting at, but someone had forgotten to sign out of. And I asked him, why aren't you using the phone at your desk? Do you need help signing in? He said, no, this is where I was going to sit originally, but there's no computers here. So I've just been using this phone. It's like, you are not getting up, walking over 4 desks, sitting down every single time you need to answer a phone call. And then when he left, and like I'm getting ready to leave for the day, I look over and I look at the phone and I confirm that's not his fucking extension.
So he's calling from someone else's... That means there's like not any record of him ever taking calls when part of his job is taking calls, so...
Yes. Well, mostly we deal with walk-ins, but every once in a while we'll get a call from someone in the building being like, hey, just as a heads up, this is the issue I'm experiencing. I'm in this room. Can you come by? And we're like, yeah, sure. Let me phrase that. I'll say, yeah, sure. Because he just fucking sits there and doesn't do
He'll
anything.
just say, but I'm old. Click.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh
But that's it, man. That's what's happening.
Your 60s isn't even like old enough to say I'm too old to do my job. If it were like, hey, can you come help me take this big computer system down from something because my back is fucked because I'm old, that would be one thing. But hey,
Yeah,
can
I
you
would help in
talk
that
to these people and sit down at a computer for me because I can't because I'm old? No. My grandfather is 80 years old, or 81 this year, and he still goes up to our cabin and does manual labor, helping chop wood and drag trees and build shit. No, you just started Social Security. You're in your 60s. You don't because I'm old is not an excuse to not do your job.
Oh, especially not. And granted, I know people age differently. They have different stresses on their body and all that. But using it as an excuse to talk to someone is a no. Also, you got a fucking 78-year-old guy on our contract who they use as the main person to haul around equipment at the other location, and he's fucking deaf, and he still does the fucking job, and he still talks to customers. But you got this fuck over here, 60, probably 62-year-old ass, using every fucking excuse in the playbook, and I'm not fucking having any of it because I'm not standing for it. So no, I'm not doing his fucking job. He can call whoever he wants.
Oh my
I
god.
actually called someone today because the part he needs to replace is audio video equipment.
Uh-huh.
And I showed him where it is over here, but he's like, well, normally we just have our specialist audio video guys over in Suffolk take a look at it. I'm just like, okay, but we don't have that here. We do everything here. And so he called up the audio video guys over at Suffolk. They heard who he was talking to and said, hell no, and hung up the fucking phone.
That's also just fucking wild of being like, hey, let's call these people over from Suffolk to fix a problem. It'd be one thing if you guys did not have the capability or the equipment and you're like, this needs to get done now. We need to get them over here right now. And two, if when I would do things like that, when I was in positions where I was like, I need a part from somewhere else to do this, I'm the one going there. I don't feel like this guy would have done that.
No.
But if you guys didn't have the capability to do it yourself, then yeah, of course, call the people that do. But
but we have the capability. I showed him where the fucking equipment was, and for 3 days after, he said, I can't find the equipment. I handed him the equipment! Literally his hands!
I can't find the equipment, and you literally just grab his hand and lift it up to his face, and it's right there.
He did that with his glasses today, too. He's like, I can't find my glasses. I've been able to find my glasses for days. They're on his desk in front of his keyboard.
This guy has a clearance.
He has a clearance, man. He has a fucking clearance.
I know we talked about during that podcast recording that mental health should not preclude people from having a clearance and not preclude people from having a job. But that's not like a mental health thing. That's like your brain doesn't fucking work and you shouldn't be holding this position thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm specialized for melee right now, and I got put in a position where I can't move, and people are shooting me.
Boy.
What?
Just get this. I said, yeah, all right, boat boy.
And the boat is stuck. Fuck! Oh my god. No, that's insane, man. That's oh god. And I don't get that either, because I've had several times I've had fellow coworkers that put more effort into not working than it would be to just do their damn job. And I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. Like, I think of like two different people, and one of them, it made sense from the political standpoint of how the Navy is structured and how the Navy works, but it was obnoxious as hell. But the first one, when I worked at Sheets, we had this girl, this big, tall girl, that would spend more effort pretending to do her job than it would be to do her job. Like, she had to stock the soda cups at one point, which the soda cups, like, they push into a little thing, and then it has, like, it clasps kind of like the barb on an arrow, and that's what holds them in there. And I watched her from the cashier, standing next to it, and miming grabbing cups. One, you don't grab one at a time and do it. You grab the entire, like, sleeve of cups and just slam it in there. It takes 10 seconds. Miming grabbing a single cup at a time and putting it in there, and just kind of standing and staring off into space and doing nothing. And stuff like that all the time. She's like, she'd randomly decide, I'm going to go clean the bathrooms, and then one of the managers would be looking for her and try to find her. And I'd be like, last time I saw her, I'm going to call her Kelly. I don't remember what her name was. Last time I saw her, I'm like, I don't know, Kelly said she was going to go clean the bathrooms. Like, why was Kelly going to clean the bathrooms? I just cleaned the bathrooms like 30 minutes ago. And would go in there, and Kelly would just be kind of standing there, doing nothing. Like an NPC that's pathing is broke, and it's just kind of trying to figure out how to move. And just stuff like that all the time. To the point, she would call off work frequently. And then when she was in work, she would complain that she didn't have enough money and she wanted to pick up more hours, but wouldn't take anyone's hours.
Yep.
But to the point where she was so inefficient, she was so bad that the workplace moved more efficiently when she just didn't show up. Because she would call off sometimes 30 minutes after her shift was supposed to start and then call in. And we would like call the manager like, hey, or the manager would try to call like, hey, can we get someone? But honestly, it didn't matter, because her not being there was more helpful and more useful to us than her being there. Because at least when she wasn't there, we didn't assume she was going to do anything, and she wasn't physically in the way of stuff. We planned around having less people.
At my area, it's not about that person calling out. It's about wherever they are not, that facility all of a sudden is thriving. Because we have multiple facilities. Where that guy's not is thriving, wherever he's at is suffering.
I mean, it's insane that is a thing. And it's insane that those people get to keep their job, to me. Because it's one thing, like, I can get you being, like you said, your boss was like, he knows that if he fires this guy, he's not going to be able to get a job anywhere else, and he's trying to be nice. Yep. And it's one thing if it's like, okay,
by the way, I think he was manipulated into thinking that because my boss is a genuinely just a kind guy at heart.
Yeah.
And I think this fucking guy is so yeah, everything I said about him cursing out the government person to now looking like he's incompetent. The thing is that I know he knows how to do this shit.
He just doesn't want to.
He's doing the same thing your cup stacker did, where they just are trying to be incompetent to make it so they don't have to do it. But it's like that's what he's doing. That's why he's jumping to everything, every tactic, and every fucking. He's going, I'm gonna be hyper aggressive, so no one wants to interact with me. I'm gonna see incompetence, so people don't want to rely on me. But the problem is that me and the other guy who essentially run the whole thing, we're just keep putting the standard amount of responsibilities onto him, and he's breaking.
Yeah. And it's wild. It's insane. Because, and that's, to side tangent for a second, that's like the thing of between like someone who makes a good boss versus a good supervisor. Because your nice guy boss would probably make a really good supervisor, because supervisors generally don't have to make the decision to fire somebody. So having a nice guy as a supervisor a lot of times works better.
I also meant supervisor.
Okay.
He's a supervisor.
Yeah, but is he the one that would be responsible for firing this guy?
Nope.
Okay. Then it's like people like that make, and this guy probably, like, I'm sure, I'll put it this way. I had one boss, my first actual boss when I got to my first command in the Navy, was a great supervisor when everything was going well. She cared about morale. You know, we'd get off early when we could. You know, she never put too much of a workload on any of us if it could be avoided. Great supervisor, as long as nothing was wrong. The moment, like, someone was doing... The moment when there was conflict on the team, she wasn't great at that. Because there was times when me and the other petty officer that I was working with had, like, conflict of, okay, I have 10 tasks in front of me and you have 3. Why are you not getting this other one? It's like, well, because
keep going. I have to take a call, but I promise I'm listening.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Gotcha. But like, why are you not taking this tasker? When you have absolute less weight. Well, I have this and that and all this other stuff that I'm trying to do. I was like, okay, but that's not your job. Why am I being overworked when I also have collaterals and stuff that I need to do, and you're not? And those conflicts, she kind of crumbled under. Like, one of the big ones for me that bothered me was I was a CFL. I was a command fitness leader for the Navy, which means I was in charge of PT tests, and I was in charge of PT, and particularly our Fat Kid program, our FEP, Fitness Enhancement Program. If you almost failed a PRT or weigh-in, or you did fail a PRT or weigh-in, you were put on the FEP program, the Fitness Enhancement Program, which was just extra PT. That PT was led at the end of the day. That's when it's scheduled for, at the end of the day, from 1500 to 1600. I was a CFL, so I was in charge of leading it. The moment we had kind of worked out, because this petty officer B, was a very kind boss, she let us kind of play with our schedule a little bit more than anyone else would in the Navy, honestly. Where I came in at 8 and left at 16, but Petty Officer O, this other petty officer, and when I came in I was a seaman, this other petty officer, to avoid traffic, said, well, can I come in at 7 and then leave at 15? Because that way I can avoid a lot of the worst traffic. And something almost no other fucking LPO in the Navy would ever do, or anywhere in the military, like, yeah, I will let you leave early and come in early because it's more convenient for you. No one else gives a shit about that. But when I became a CFL, we needed to have someone else there when I was leading FEP. And Petty Officer O had a huge problem with that, because that meant she couldn't come in. She couldn't leave early because Petty Officer.
Oh, I remember this now.
Yeah,
I remember this.
she couldn't leave early because I was leading FEP, and that became this huge conflict where our supervisor was almost like, well, Johnston, and you need, and this actually leads into my other avoid work at all costs coworker. You kind of need collaterals in the Navy to get promotions. It's one of the like 5 C's of promotions. It's like college, collaterals, commandeering, they say, which is just demonstrating leadership, and then like 2 other ones that are escaping me right now. So you need collaterals, and CFL was the only collateral I had, and as a seaman, it was hard to get collaterals because a lot of them are like rank locked. In fact, I shouldn't have been a CFL, but the command really needed CFLs, and I was a PT All-Star, so they're like, yep, Johnston can do this. And it almost got to the point where, like, well, because Petty Officer O was just saying, well, why does Johnston need this collateral? Why does Johnston need this collateral? Why does blah, blah, blah? Which, mind you, one of the reasons she wasn't getting taskers and I was being overworked was because she was doing all these extra collaterals, and that was her excuse not to do work. And later it became because she never got her pin and she needed to get her pin. And the supervisor that I really liked was almost like, well, Johnston, would you consider giving up CFL? No, I wouldn't. What it ended up being was to make up for the fact that Petty Officer O would not be able to leave early on the days that I had FEP, because I led FEP 3 times a week. On the days that I had FEP, I had to come in earlier, which was a time I normally came in anyways, because I always came in an hour early anyways. I had to make sure I was there at 7 on those other days so that she could leave extra early on those other days, because it's like, this doesn't... We're in the military. You are... But that was really great boss when things were going well. Really bad when there was any sort of conflict. Also, other people from other teams would come over and give us taskers all the time, or tell us what to do all the time, which is not something you fucking do in the military. You don't talk to me, you talk to my boss, and my boss tells you whether or not they're going to have me do something. And she would never kind of do anything about that, because she was just really nice person, really sweet person, really weak leader. So unfortunately, those type of people work really best when they're in kind of a supervisory role, but have no actual power. When there's someone else above them that, yeah.
Well, the guy who's my actual boss, who can hire, fire people, all that stuff. That guy's a fucking... Holy shit! I never mess with that fucking guy.
You never what?
I never want to mess with that fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn. He's this huge dude. Like, I swear to God, he's like 6'8" or some shit. And he's just carries around this fucking demeanor of like a mob boss. Not like a, yeah, see? No, it's like an actual fucking, like you fuck with this guy, you're dead. That's the kind of vibe he gives off. So, like...
I'm gonna guess former military.
I don't know, actually. I have no idea. I only had a week with him before I moved facilities.
Here's gonna be my guess. And tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna guess he has a very kind way or very relaxed way of talking to you, but has a look in his eyes that and it says, is he always moving his hands? Is he always doing something with his hands?
I actually don't know that, but I will say that he speaks to very calmly.
Yeah,
but it's like a calm but intense. Like, he's not yelling at you, but he's speaking softly with like, answer my question.
Yeah, that strikes me so much as, like, a lot of times when you meet, like, infantry dudes, like, but more specifically, a lot of times special operators or special forces, they have this calmness to them, but an intensity with it. And the reason I asked if they always move their hands is because that's something like a lot of military guys immediately recognize. If you got a guy that's kind of constantly always just like doing something with his hands, that dude has done some shit in his career, and you don't want to mess with him. But they have that calm demeanor, but have this energy that's like, oh, I don't want to mess with you. I had a warrant officer that was like that. He was a Green Beret before he switched to my position, to my career field, my job. He was a Green Beret, and he was like a weapons specialist for the Green Berets. Just such a badass. Like, I considered him somewhat of a mentor, because at the time I wanted to be a SEAL, so I'd go talk to him all the time. But I would see people from other teams and some higher ups just come and be so much of a dick to him, like yelling at him for stuff that wasn't really his fault, but just someone dropped the ball somewhere along the line, and he was a good leader. He was a warrant officer, so not technically a leader, but he was the guy they went to, and he was a good leader. So when people came to yell at him, he didn't go, "Oh, that was this person, that was this person, that was this person." He's like, "Uh-huh, yep, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Sorry, apologies." But I saw that happening one time. I walked up and was like, "Chief, how do you stay so calm when people are talking to you like that?" And he just looked me right in the face and was like, "Because I know I could kill everyone in this room and no one could stop me, and I just think about that when they're yelling at me." It's like, holy shit. Oh, fuck. It's like that's the kind of energy they have. It's like, that's why they're so calm. It's because they know if they really wanted to go off, there's nothing you can do about it.
There was my boss recently fired a guy, which was the guy they're now trying to replace, which is why I have people coming in and out from other place to be my coworker. But
your little buddy,
shit, man. So this guy who was young, my former coworker, and my boss says to him, he's showing up late every fucking day. One time he even showed up 4.5 hours late, and he didn't fucking tell anybody why, where he was. He just showed up late. And so my boss is like, "Well, you're coming back over to our facility because we need to be able to keep an eye on you. You're in like a remediation period." So he goes over there, still fucking late. And so my boss says, what are you doing at night? You drinking, partying, maybe a little bit of drugs? My fucking coworker says, "I'm just living." That's his response to being asked, "Are you doing drugs?" And a fucking place where you have a clearance and you can't do drugs or anything like that, you say no. You don't say, "I'm just living." What kind of fucking answer is that, man? Jesus Christ.
The funny thing, you're everything you're explaining about this guy, he sounds so Gen Z. He sounds like so like stereotypical Gen Z. Like, but oh my god, that would not have flown. And I mean, I'm coming from a military perspective too, of like, if I was drilling somebody or one of my bosses was drilling me and said, "What are you doing at night? You're fucking up. What are you doing at night?" And I was just like, "I'm just living," I'd be dead. I would not be here today. I would be dead. They would have killed me.
Yep.
Oh god, that's insane.
Christ.
That's so wild.
Same guy also had an attitude of like, "I'm smarter than everyone and I'm better than these giants," because he just graduated with a bachelor's degree. But at the same,
in his 60s, he just graduated in his 60s with a bachelor's degree.
No. Sorry, I'm talking about the guy who got fired.
Oh,
that's who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
The guy who got fired is the one that said, "I'm just living." He is Gen Z.
Okay. Just
to clear things up.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah, but Jesus, like, fuck, man. The reason I think he actually got let go was because, I think I mentioned this before, he's the guy that had a domestic violence thing happen that he never reported to the security office.
Yeah.
I guess it was bad enough after further investigation to realize, hey, this guy's a fucking liability, revoke his clearance.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. His subcontract revoked his clearance, and one of my our backup supervisor, in case both my supervisors out, had to go bring him his stuff at the gate because he couldn't get in because they had to turn in his CAC and everything. So
and they're like, "No, do not let him back in the building. Even if you're escorting him, do not let him back in the building."
Yeah, well, they wouldn't even let him on the base. They met out at the gas station outside the base and took his shit there, like his stuff to get on the base. They said, "We will bring your things to you."
You're not allowed on base. You're not allowed in the building. Honestly, we don't even want you looking in this general direction.
Yeah,
we're gonna install a GPS in your eyes that can track where you're looking, and if you look in this direction for too long, the cops are coming.
Oh, also the guy was absolutely doing drugs and admitted it, like, on his last day.
Oh yeah,
to our government person we're supporting, so that's great.
don't admit that. I mean, if you're getting kicked out, but at least, okay, you got your clearance revoked for a misdemeanor, but you can work your way around that. You can appeal that. Don't admit that you were doing something.
I don't know if it was a misdemeanor. He went to jail and was there for like a bit.
Well, a misdemeanor could be anywhere like up to 1 year in jail.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not good. Not good.
No, it's
but the day he got fired, he didn't know he was getting fired, and he admitted to the government person before that happened. So,
still,
he was
what? That's even stupider.
I know.
Why?
I know.
What is wrong with this dude? How old is he?
He was 21. He just turned 21.
Okay, that explains some of it, but still, it's like there's so many people that struggle to get their clearances for the stupidest reason.
Yep.
And then this guy exists. And honestly, I feel like there should be an and there was for me, but I think it was because I had a top secret. Did you get interviewed when you got your clearance? Like, was there an interview?
Well, I don't really recall because they didn't tell me I had clearance for 3 years, despite me asking. So.
Oh yeah, they lied to you.
Yeah.
Because my clearance stuff was all being done like while I was going through, prior to me going to boot camp, and then while I was going through boot camp. So when I was in boot camp, I got interviewed by a guy, and actually, that was kind of funny. Because he thought he got me. Because he was like asking me these questions. He's asking, "Do you ever do this?" And when I was so straight laced when I was a kid, like I never did anything wrong. And he was asking me like, "Have you ever done drugs? Have you ever done have you ever drank alcohol underage? Have you ever stolen something? Have you ever blah blah?" No. And at one point, he puts down his little clipboard and just looks at me and goes, "Why?" It's like. And I didn't know how to respond to that. I was just like, I don't know. I guess I respected my dad too much, and I didn't want to put him through any of that. And then he looks at me, but not your mother? I was like, no, I respect my mom too. But because it's like he got me with a trick question. Like, he got me, this is going to get me. You don't respect your mom. You can't have a clearance. Go! But it's like,
you didn't respect your mom. That means you could have been doing drugs.
Yeah! It's like, no, but my dad was like a combat vet, and he was deployed a lot of my childhood, so like I never wanted him to worry about me while he was deployed. It's like, okay, and it was probably like the quickest. I mean, yeah.
When I was going for my position, I mean, they were like joining the company in general. They asked me some general questions. Have you done this, or this? But
yeah,
anything intense like trying to catch me in a lie or anything like that.
Yeah, but I think in general there should be like an interview for, and they probably don't do it just because of manpower, honestly. Yeah. But for any clearance, there should be a level of interview where someone is sitting down in front of you and can look at you and be like, you know what? But then that also introduces the possibility of both conscious and subconscious bias. But it's wild. Another one kind of like that where someone thought they got me in a thing is I had to do a board for a school I wanted to go to, and at one point during the board, they were asking me like all these questions, and there's no really good way to say. This will be the Patreon exclusive part of this video. They asked me the question, like, what are 2 crimes you consider, like, unforgivable? And I said theft and, assault of the adult variety. And they said, okay. Later in the board, they are asking me, like, all these different questions, too, but they're also scruple questions. Like, okay, they're putting up a lot of theoretical scenarios in front of me, and they're like, okay, you and Petty Officer blah, 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 who was the only woman on the board, the only other woman that was, like, questioning me on the board that was a board member, are the last 2 surviving people on Earth. And you need to repopulate humanity, but she doesn't want to with you. Do you make her? And I said, no.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because they're asking you scruple questions. This is for a school where it's like they're trying to really see how far you're willing to go, kind of thing. And I say no, and they get this looking like they got me. Like this is gonna be the scruples question where they got me, and it's whatever. I don't know. They're going to try to get on me because they couldn't get me. I knew what I was going into when I did this board. Like, this board was supposed to last like up to 6 hours, and it ended in 3 for me. I was one of the quickest people that did it because I knew it was going to be a lot of mind games. So everything they tried to break me with, they couldn't, because it's like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. And I say no, and they're like, why not? And they're expecting me to say something like, because that's something I find unforgivable, blah, 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 blah. And then I know they're going to go down this rabbit hole of drilling me about that. Like, oh, so if America needed you to do this, you wouldn't do it? So I say, because I don't value humanity that much. And they're like, what? It's like, I said, well, I'm here. I'm an American, and I will do what I can do to help serve my country. But if humanity disappeared off the face of the earth, that's probably for the best for the earth. And they're like, okay, moving on. It's like, because they couldn't.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to get going, but yeah, it was good talking to you, man. I just wanted to
No.
you know that whole situation.
No,
So I'll see you.
Yeah. Okay. But no, my second coworker that was really just like did everything possible he could to avoid working was we call him like a collateral soldier, collateral sailor, because you have to have a lot of collateral duties in the Navy. Collateral duties are like, your rate is this, or MOS for other branches. Your rate or MOS is this. This is your job. This is what you're trained to do. This is why you're at this command. But also, there's all these other jobs that need to get done, and we need someone to do them, but there's no rate for that, there's no job for that, or there's just no billets for that, so guess whose job it is? And a lot of times collateral duties are like kind of voluntary, like you can be told you're getting collateral duty, but a lot of times no, because one, they want people doing the collateral duty that are going to do the collateral duty, that are actually going to do the job, and two, collateral duties are enough of a part of advancing, they're part of your eval, that people will just sign up for them. Like there's some ones that is like people almost compete for because it's a really good looking one. Because like command career counselor is both a collateral duty and works to show leadership, stuff like that. And CFL kind of does too. It's collateral duty and works to show leadership, because yes, it's a collateral duty that I'm doing, but also I am leading these people and improving their fitness and et cetera, et cetera. But this dude, I'm just going to call him Sierra. Sierra almost only did collateral duties. He was almost never at his desk. And this guy was approaching higher tenure, which means you have to make a certain rank by a certain time in order to continue in the military. So E4, if you hit 8 years in and you're still in E4, guess what? You're not in anymore. If you hit 12 years in and you're still in E5, you get forced out. And then 6 years, at 6 years, you can retire. You can make it to 20 and retire, but if you don't make it past E6, you can't go past 20 years. He was approaching higher tenure, like really close. I think he was actually on a higher tenure extension because he cross-rated, so he used that as like, oh, well, it's going to take me a little longer to promote, so whatever. So he pretty much only did collateral duties. He had every collateral duty in the book, but pretty much was never at his desk doing his, like, he was at his desk doing the collateral duties sometimes, but he was never doing his job. He never actually did his job, so he was just kind of a drain on the team, because also he would disappear sometimes for very long periods of time doing his collateral duty, but a lot of times it was like, oh, because one of his collateral duties was he was the barracks petty officer, so he was responsible for inspecting the barracks. So he would schedule some barracks inspections and, you know, do them real quick and then pretend it took longer and just kind of disappear for a long period of time. One of those guys. A whole drain on resources in the military, and I could probably talk for a while about him, but one of the specific interactions I had with him, because again, I was a CFL, I was responsible for running FEP, running the PRTs, which are the physical readiness tests, and running PT. And he was chronically on the verge of failing his way in and failing his PT test, his PRT. And at one point, we're getting ready for the PRT cycle. And I was very, very like Joe about it. Like I did not. You could be my best friend. Your score was your score. However many push-ups you did, because we had so many people. Normally, like in the Navy, you gather up in groups, in pairs, and your buddy counts for you, kind of thing. Your buddy counts your push-ups, your buddy counts your curl-ups, and then we have like a stopwatch counting the time for your run. But at this command, we had such a long PRT cycle. Like, our PRT cycle, like the time period we were running PRTs, was basic. I can't remember. I think we did May and October. So it was all of October and all of May. And we had a PRT scheduled every day. Monday through Thursday, it was the run. So we went to the local park, and we did the run there. We administrated the run test there, and then on Friday we would go to the local NOSC, the reservist center, and use their ellipticals, because they had the ellipticals that were actually calibrated to be used for a PRT, and the bikes that were calibrated to be used for a PRT, and we'd run the bike or elliptical test there for people that got some sort of waiver to... Well, you were supposed to get a waiver to do the elliptical or the bike, but our command just decided, no, everyone can do the elliptical or bike, which was stupid. And then if someone requested the swim test, we'd administer the swim test, but only, like, the only two people that really requested the swim test were our Admiral and our XO. It was really, like, such old guys, so fit. It was insane. Hold on. Incredibly fit. But one of the days leading up to the PRT cycle, he comes up to me and he's just talking to me for no reason. We didn't really talk much, but we weren't like didn't have animosity for each other. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, I'm not. That's what. We didn't have like any animosity towards each other necessarily. I didn't like him. I don't think he really liked me, but we were cool. He comes up and talks to me like kind of out of nowhere somewhere. And at one point, he starts talking about the fact that the PRT is coming up. And he's like, I'm going to do well on it, right? And I told him, I was like, are you training for it? Are you practicing for it? Like, can you do the right number of push-ups and curl-ups and run? Because he's asking me, I'm going to do well on it, right? Was him trying to imply that I was going to fudge his numbers. And the only times I ever fudged someone's numbers during a PRT was if I actively knew they were busting their ass. They were trying to lose weight. They were trying to get in shape. And they were struggling. Because I would also lead my own private extra PT sessions for people leading up to the PT test. I'd go to formation and say, hey, if anyone's struggling, if anyone needs help getting into shape, I'll work out with you. I'll train you. I'll do whatever I gotta. And a few people took me up on that. And if I knew they were busting their ass and they were trying and they just could not get into that shape that they needed, I would fudge their numbers. But if you weren't trying and you just thought, I was going to be your buddy and fake your numbers for you, no, you get what you get. But yeah, him asking me that was him like implying like, you're going to fudge the numbers for me, right? And I said, have you been training? Have you been whatever? And blah, blah, blah. And he just looks at me, he goes, I'm the barracks petty officer, right? Implying that with his tone and with his face and with what he said, implying that if I didn't fudge his numbers, that if I didn't, give him special treatment, he was going to make me fail my PRT or make me fail my barracks inspection. And I look him back in the eyes, and I'm in E4 by this point, and technically shouldn't have been able to be a CFL because you're supposed to be an E5, but again, hurting for CFLs, and I was super fit. And I look back at him and I say, you know I'm a CFL, right? Because he could make me fail my barracks inspection. And if I fail my barracks inspection, I get chewed out. And if it happens enough, I might get written up and I might get talked to. But if I fail my barracks inspection, there's a re-inspection afterwards with my LPO. Like, my LPO comes and does a re-inspection with the barracks petty officer. So most he could do is inconvenience me. But if he fails his PRT, one, he can't get a EP eval. If you fail your PRT, you cannot get... I think you can't even get a P eval, technically. I think if you fail your PRT, you get a not promotable eval, which means you cannot be promoted. You can't be promoted even if you tested incredibly well on the test. If he fails... At this time, it was 3. It switched to 2. But if he fails 3 PRTs in a certain time frame, he just gets kicked out of the Navy. So he was threatening me with an inconvenience, and I responded with, I could end your career. And he dialed back. He's like, "Oh no, I'm just saying, like, if you having trouble with your with your roommates or anything, I want to remind you, like, if you're having trouble with your roommates or whatever, come to me and I can help fix that for you," because I had previously had trouble with my roommates before he was ever the barracks petty officer, before he showed up to the command. Honestly, I think he wasn't at the command yet. It's like, nice try, buddy, nice try. That was he was all. Oh, hey, buddy. I need more musket balls. I'm trying to get to this quest, but like the pathing is super weird. But yeah, he was a whole interesting problem. Hey, what's up, Isaac? How you doing? And I'm trying to remember, there's something else I was going to say about him, I believe. But I can't remember it to save my life. He did end up very briefly getting put in charge of me. He was one of the 2 people that got put in charge of me when when my worst boss got removed from a leadership position. And I had him temporarily charge me for like 2 weeks. And then I got a Army sergeant that got put in charge of me because he got moved around. And I was in the middle of working on a lot of really important stuff, and then he would just like try to send me home early all the time because he wanted to go home early. And it's a really bad look as a boss if you're going home early and your guys aren't ever. So I think he was just trying to send me home early a lot so that he could go home early. It was straight for the path, as a result, has been reversed. Fuck. I'm not even allowed to do it once. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not allowed to risk that once. Gotcha. But yeah, he would try to send me home early. I'm like, Paleo Sierra, I got to get this done. He's like, no, this could get done tomorrow. I was like, no, it can't get done tomorrow. He was interesting. We also had, because Randy was talking about this dude just admitting to doing drugs to his boss before he knew his clearance was getting pulled and before he knew he was about to have a really bad time. Which is not a great idea. We had, at one point, an open admiral's mast, which what that means is it's a captain's mast, but we had an admiral and not a captain, so it was an admiral's mast. We had an open admiral's mast, which means not only was everyone allowed to be there, everyone was required to be there. And at the time, those of us on the Navy side at that command only knew of one real problem child that we thought could be getting admiral's masted, because this dude was consistently showing up late, consistently showing up looking as if he had partaken in illicit substances either immediately before he showed up or after, or recently at the very least. He always smelt bad because he wouldn't shower. Now he was a very pretty boy type. He was actually he had like a side hustle as a club promoter because this was in Florida, so he had a side hustle as a club promoter. You know, kept himself very well, but he would go to PT in the middle of the day and come back without showering. And I actually got yelled at for that first. I got yelled at for that first because when this guy got at that command originally, he was kind of shit hot. And I showed up at the command around the time he started going on his downward slide. And he started going on his downward slide, apparently because he started dating some local, and the local got him into some stuff that he shouldn't have gotten into. And this is also a testament to the fact that the military leadership will not look out for you, but they will very quickly throw you under the bus. Because he started getting into trouble and started showing up late. He started demonstrating a lot of signs that he could probably have used someone reaching out and helping him, and nobody did. In fact, a lot of people did the exact opposite. Of covering up for him and allowing him to get away with stuff, which just made it worse, but never actually addressing the thing. But he started having his downward slide around the time that I started showing up. We would both do soccer for PT together with a big group of us. So we'd go downstairs during lunch and play soccer for PT. And me and him sat pretty near each other. So when he started, I would shower after every time. I shower obsessively. I shower after every time I work out, then I would shower in the morning before work. I'd shower after I worked out, and then I'd shower before bed because I just obsessively shower. And I would shower after soccer PT. I would shower too. So after he started kind of falling down this thing, he would show up to PT, and he would shower. Here's the thing: he would shower sometimes, but he would have his PT shirt on underneath that he wore to PT underneath his blue shirt that he wore in his uniform. So still all that BO there, still all that sweat there. And I got people apparently complaining, thinking it was me that smelled bad. So I got on my first like mid-season eval, which is just like, hey, here's 3 things you're doing that you could improve upon, and here's 3 things that you're doing great. That I should probably pay more attention to my hygiene because that people don't think I'm showering. I'm like, I shower all the time. It's like, well, they're saying specifically after PT, you come back and you smell. It's like, I shower after PT. But okay. They ended up finding out he was doing this because one day he actually wore his Navy PT shirt that has a real thick collar on it to PT, and then wore his blue shirt over that when he left PT, and you could see the yellow shirt peeking out from underneath the blue shirt. And one of the guys in the area was just like, hey, is that the shirt you were wearing for PT? He's like, yeah. It's like, why are you still wearing that? Like, why are you wearing that underneath your shirt? It's like, he's just like, well, because I'm gonna go to the gym after work, so I figured, why bother taking it off? It's like, okay. And after that, they stopped hounding me, saying I need to shower more because they realized, oh, it wasn't me, it was him. I do like this a lot. It was him. He started getting a lot worse. It started with those small things like showing up late sometimes and whatnot, to him going out to take a nap in the middle of the day in his car and not waking up for 3 hours and being, everyone's like, where is he? Where's this dude? Where is he? And just kept getting worse and worse. And no one, I almost feel bad for him because no one did anything to look out for this guy. No one did anything. He was in his young 20s. He was a little bit older than me. He was in his young 20s, early 20s. No one did anything to like get this guy help or check on him. They just had this mentality of like, whatever. Let's. They were buddy with him. That was one problem at this command, is it was real top heavy, but that caused the lines between, boss and subordinate to blur in a lot of areas with a lot of people. So a lot of people were buddy with him. So I think no one just wanted to get him in trouble or do anything about it. So he just kept spiraling and getting worse, to the point where there were entire days that he didn't show up and people would cover for him. I don't know how you managed to cover for that, but his bosses, I guess, were just like recovering for him and not telling anyone. or coming up with excuses for why he wasn't there. And the common go-to one is, oh, they have a dental appointment. Oh, they have a medical appointment. That's why they're not here right now. If your guy's late or your buddy's late and you're trying to cover for them, they're at dental. They're at a medical appointment because no questions asked. Beefeater State dress armor, is that better than my coastal armor? But no one was looking out for this guy, which was just sad. And people started realizing that he was on drugs. People started realizing that he was taking illicit substances. But I think what happened was, I can't confirm this, I don't know for sure, but I think what happened was he had a buddy who was one of the pecker checkers, he was one of the urinalysis guys, that was telling him when they were planning a urinalysis so that he would be late, or he would have something, or he would be on leave, or he would have a medical appointment. He'd have 1,000 reasons why he couldn't be included in that urinalysis. Because at this command, at the very least, if you popped up, because the urinalysis were done randomly, like randomly generated, people are given the urinalysis. If you popped up on the urinalysis at this command, but you weren't there, for whatever reason, they would just take you off the list. I know some other commands, apparently, they like call you in and they make you come in unless you're like on leave, but they would make you come in. This command just didn't. Like, if they, okay, cool, your boss would get the email list with everyone that's supposed to come for the urinalysis would be sent out to Allcon, and your boss would message back, hey, this person isn't here this day, so they can't do the urine. Because every time he had a urinalysis that his name popped up on, he would have some reason why he wasn't there, because the urinalysis started at 8. That's when the door opened. You'd get the email would go out at like 7. At 8 was when it started, and it was going until like noon, where they'd be there until noon unless someone was taking a really long time to pee. And you'd go down there, you'd wait in that room, and they'd have like they'd have a water cooler with just like, go get more water, but you can only get so much water because they don't want you diluting your urine. But if you need to pee, go get more water. This is one of the reasons why I form the habit a lot of times of when I'm going somewhere, or at least I've broken this a lot, but when I'm going somewhere, I will not pee before I leave the house, because I had so many times that I would pop for the urinalysis and I would have peed before I left the house or before I left the gym. And then I'd have to sit down there and just try to drink water as much as they would let me so that I could pee in a cup. But he would miraculously not be there, or he'd have some reason he wasn't there, or at one point it was like a tire popped in his car, so he couldn't make it to work, and this and that and all this different stuff. And then we had one chief that was acting as our senior enlisted leader for the Navy administrative side while we were waiting to get a new Master Chief, because at the position it should have been a Master Chief, but we had to wait a while to get a new Master Chief. So we had this one chief that either was looking out for him or just wasn't doing anything about it. So when we got our new chief, our new senior enlisted leader, what do I need? I need 32. He wanted to look out for, very specifically, this dude, because he didn't think that it was fair. Essentially, he didn't think that it was fair that no one tried to help him, no one tried to get him better, which is fair. It's a fair thought to have, but he had kind of gone beyond the point of getting that level of courtesy, honestly, because it was at a point where he was screwing up at a job where screwing up could cost people their lives. I got my ammo. I don't have the stuff to get right away. I don't have enough stuff to get right away. But that's a fair thought to have. That's a fair thing to be like, listen, I'm going to try to help this guy. But he'd kind of gotten past the point of okay, all he needs is help, and gone to the point of apparently I didn't get the stuff I needed to do. Gone to the point of he just needed to be handled, and it's unfortunate that it got this far. But this new Master Chief, I actually like this Master Chief. This new Master Chief wanted to look out for him, so was constantly covering for him, and constantly like not allowing him to get in trouble, and constantly there was some stuff that he did that might have been like him trying to stop him from getting hit on that. That's the random year analysis and all this different stuff that was like, okay, Chief is, or Master Chief is looking out for you, but it's past the point of someone should be looking out for you kind of thing. I need to get rid of all the drugs because they are bad for me. But it's past that point. So at one point, we hear that we have an open Admiral's Mast. We get the email. There's an open Admiral's Mast. Everyone will be here in formation. Blah blah blah. At this time, for this open Admiral's Mast, and we had gone through like a slew at that point of having several urinalyses in like consistently having a lot of these urinalyses. And everyone kind of had this air about it that they're trying to get this dude. They're really trying to get this dude, and he keeps skirting it. But we were like, okay, we got this Admiral's Mast thing, and everyone there thought that it was going to be him. That he was the one that was going to have the Admiral's Mast be about him. Everyone thought that that's who we're going to see there. And then I get into formation. The entirety of the Navy at that command is there because mandatory. I get into formation, and standing next to me in formation is him. Everyone thought they were trying to get him. They didn't get him with that random that slew of a lot of random urinalyses, but they did get two other people. They got one person who had come back from maternity leave and popped hot for married iguanas. On maternity leave, coming back from maternity leave, pop for that, and that stays in your system unless you use it a lot. It stays in your system for about like 3 days because it's a urinalysis. It wasn't a hair test. A hair test will stay in for longer, but this was just a urinalysis. So 3 days unless you're using it really, really excessively. She tried to claim that she went to a party with her husband and someone offered her a brownie and she didn't know that it was a special brownie. Admiral was just like, no, that's no. That's not true. You're lying to me. There's no way. You're being dumb. And if it was true, you should have told us that, hey, I ate a brownie at a party and I didn't know what it was, because they try to tell you, oh, tell us and we'll handle it. But also, like, I totally get not. Like, if I was in the Navy and I accidentally like ate a brownie that had stuff in it, I wouldn't tell anyone. I would probably try to take emergency leave or something and be gone for 3 days, because you like to think that your leadership will be like, don't worry, we got you. But a lot of times they're not. A lot of times they're not. She ended up getting dishonorably discharged from the Navy. Or they might have given her an other than honorable. I think they might have given her an other than honorable. Which is better than a dishonorable, because an other than honorable means you still retain some of your benefits of being a veteran, and it's not on your record that you were dishonorably discharged, but you don't receive all the benefits you would get from an honorable discharge. So you surrender some of your benefits, but I think you might still get some of your GI Bill, you might still get some other stuff. I don't remember all the specifics of that. The other guy was standing on one of the. He was one of our watchstanders, which means he was responsible for a lot of important stuff, and needed to do his job very well, because again, if he doesn't, people could get killed. So he popped hot for a bunch of stuff, and when the Admiral's questioning him, because the Admiral's standing on this podium, it's almost like a stage on a podium because we did it in a conference center, on a stage on a podium, and this dude's at a lower level, looking up at him, and where am I trying to go? And the Admiral's drilling him like, what did you do? Why did you do that? All this different stuff. Asks him, because he showed up to work. He got caught very specifically because he showed up to work, showed up to the watch, looking like he was strung out on something. So he got reported. That's how they caught him. And the Admiral's drilling him. You showed up to watch on substances, and that would hinder your ability to do your job, and blah blah blah, and all this, what did you think you were doing, et cetera, et cetera. And the funny thing about being yelled at in the military, one of the funny things about being yelled at in the military is you get asked a lot of questions while you're in the process of being yelled at. But they're not questions you're supposed to answer. You're just supposed to shut up. They're rhetorical. That is a trademark of almost every time I've seen someone get drilled out in the military. And the one time that I got written up in the military, which was right at the end of my career, and super wasn't fair. That was like a trademark of it. Was getting asked a lot of rhetorical questions that if you try to answer, it's going to be worse for you. Fuck. I'm way too squishy. I have so much endurance, and I'm way too squishy. I need to get more armor. I need to find a place to make armor. I remember, like, he's asking him all these rhetorical questions and yelling at him, and he just goes, "What were you thinking, dude?" Or he goes, "What were you thinking, petty officer?" And he just stands there looking at him, and the Admiral's just looking like, he's like, "Oh, did you want me to answer?" He's like, "Yes, I want you to answer." Because he thought it was another rhetorical question. And this dude goes, now, our watch floor was essentially, it was an alternating schedule of like 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off. So it was essentially in a 30-month period. It was 12-hour work days, but in a 30-month period, you had 15 days off. So honestly, they worked less hours in a 30-day period. In a 30-day period, not a 30-month period. In a 30-day period, you had 15 days off, which means essentially they worked less hours than anyone else. They just worked longer shifts. So they were one of the most well-compensated watches in the military, which the Admiral felt the need to point out after this statement, because he looks up at him and says, "Sir, I was just feeling really stressed and needed some relief." And the Admiral does this. He has the mic at the podium, does this. Pushes the mic away so that we can't all hear how loud he's yelling, but I think he just knew how loud he was going to yell and didn't want to do that into the microphone. Because he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? You have 15 days off a month. You are one of the most well-compensated watch floors in the fucking military. How the hell are you so stressed that you think that was a good idea and you think that's a good excuse?" And, oh, God, I just fucking spaced out. He says something, he mumbles something, I can't remember what he said. But the Admiral looks at him and goes, what did you use? What did you use? And he says, primarily cocaine, sir. Which, if you're trying to relax, I never used it, but I can't imagine that's a good one to relax. I don't know why I didn't fast travel the first time. And the admiral looks at him. How many times did you come into work high on cocaine? And he goes, I don't know, 14, 15 times, sir? 14 or 15 times? What the fuck were you thinking? And starts yelling at him again. And then he calms down. And I love this admiral. This admiral was like 5'2", short, really stocky, really built dude. He was one of the only ones, fit as hell. And as a CFO, I love that because he gave us so much like leniency and like range to run our PRTs and our FEP sessions, especially because the PRTs have to be run by a certain structure, but our FEP sessions, the way they were needed to be run, and he calms himself down, and says, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And Jag, tell me if I'm allowed to do this or not, but I'm going to fucking do it anyways. Son, you're no longer going to be in the Navy. I'm kicking you out of the Navy. But if you want this to go easy for you, after we leave here, after I dismiss all these people, after we leave here, you're coming to my office. And we're calling your mom. And you are going to explain to your mom in front of me why you got kicked out of the Navy. And why you thought that was a smart decision. And honestly, this dude looked more scared of that. This dude looked more scared of that than he looked than he was upset about getting kicked out of the Navy. That was... So... But the reason this other dude that they were trying to get comes in to this story is because, yes, we thought this was going to be for him, and it wasn't. But while we are in formation, I can't remember if it was the first person up or if the second dude had come up yet for his part of mast. While we are in formation, he passes out in the middle of formation, and me and like 3 other people go to try to catch him. The guy behind him tries to catch him, and me and the other guy that were on his side tried to catch him, and he passed out and we catch him, and we like bring him gently to the ground, and the admiral's like, what the hell's going on over there? And we're like, I'm just gonna call him Delta. Delta just passed out, and the look on the admiral's face is like, of course fucking Delta passed out, like almost like he was the one we were trying to get. So he passed out and had to get taken to medical, and like he claimed, oh, I just locked my knees for too long, blah, blah, blah. No, he was strung out. He looked strung out when he got to formation. But eventually, they did get him. They got him, and everyone knew. No one like confirmed it, but everyone knew that this is what they were trying to do. Everyone comes in one day, and it is not announced. Like, there's no mass email at 7 o'clock, but at like 8 o'clock, somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock, a all-con email went out that said there would be, because, and I think it happened this way, because we had a muster tracker for the command that the leadership of every team would confirm whether would tell which one of their guys were there and which one weren't, and which ones had like an authorized reason to be gone and which ones were UA, unauthorized absence, which is AWOL is, I think, how long does it take to be AWOL? Okay. Yeah, UA just straight up unauthorized absence is under 24 hours of not being there. So you just didn't show up to work one day, or you showed up really late. And AWOL was anywhere between 24 hours to 30 days. So this muster tracker would every team leader would put into the muster tracker which one of their guys were there, blah blah blah. And I think I think what they were doing was they were checking to see, they're waiting to see if Delta was there that day. If Delta showed up to work that day, and lo and behold, Delta showed up to work that day. So then we get an all-con email that says, everyone, there is a mandatory urinalysis for every single enlisted person, or not even enlisted, every single military person at this command. There is a mandatory email there's a mandatory urinalysis for every single military person at this command. You will show up to the gymnasium there, and they had like rows and rows and rows of chairs set out in the gymnasium. Because I think there's maybe 500 military people at this command, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, there was a bunch of chairs, and the bleachers were out, and they had every single pecker checker urinalysis guy on duty, running it like an assembly line, getting people through the urinalysis. And he said no one is to leave the gymnasium until they had, and they, like, the pecker checkers were at the door. The doors that exited the gymnasium, all the pecker checkers were at those doors. So if you wanted to get out, you had to go through one of them. It's like no one is to leave the gymnasium until they have done their urinalysis. For no reason is anyone to leave until they have done their urinalysis. So you would get up, and you'd get into the line of the people waiting to do your analysis, and you'd go in, you'd pee in a cup while someone stared at you, really creepy-like, because pecker checkers are the weirdest people in the Navy, or weirdest people in the military. Who wants their collateral duty to be to stare at some dude's member, or some woman's member? Who wants their collateral duty to be staring at someone's member while they try to take a pee? And that is just something they do on a regular basis. That's you got to be a different type of person for that. Yeah, no one's supposed to leave until they got their urinalysis done. And if you try to leave that gymnasium for any reason, like there was someone at the door that would check on a list and see if you had done your urinalysis yet. They would see if you had been checked off of your urinalysis yet. Bam. Get out of my way. I'm trying to talk. I'm tired of dying. Gotcha. Else stupid. So every single person at that command that was there that day, and I think they even, like, there was some comment about everyone who wasn't there that day would end up having to do urinalysis when they showed up, whenever they did show up. But I'm not sure if that ended up happening or not, because Delta was there that day. A quick save real quick so I don't have to redo all that shit. Delta was there that day, so they got him. 500 plus people all waiting in a gymnasium to pee in a cup, with probably the highest workload of any pecker checkers in military history to get him, but they got him. And he finally he got sent to Admiral's Mast, and during the Admiral's Mast, like it got explained more of what happened. Like he got questioned a lot and drilled a lot, and then they pulled like Master Chief up. They pulled a lot of his leadership up. They pulled the senior NCO and the E6 and the E7 that were in his chain of command, functionally like in his actual work chain of command, up, and were drilling them about how did you not notice How did you not notice any of this was happening? How did you not notice something was wrong? Why didn't you report something? Why didn't you do something about this? Why have you failed this sailor? And at one point, the admiral said something to the tune of, why have you failed this sailor so hard that now I have to kick him out of the Navy? And they said whether their perfunctory answers were, and oh, we didn't know. Sure you didn't know. Sure you didn't know. And they weren't under review or anything. They weren't going to get in any trouble, but it was definitely a bad look for them. And our Master Chief got pulled up there, and he was asked the same question of, why hasn't this been addressed sooner? Why haven't you done anything about this sooner? How long did you know that this might be a problem? And the Master Chief kind of somewhat, like, in very, like, measured speech, basically said that he thought that the rest of his chain of command before Master Chief got there had failed him, and he wanted to try to give this guy a chance to recover. And the admiral said something along the lines of, I think he's too far gone at that point. But they finally got him. They finally got the dude. He took two people with him on the way, but they finally got him. Yeah, that was an insane time. Yeah, it's definitely not the drug that relaxes you. Doesn't seem like the one that you'd want to take. But also, I guess, in that same vein, like, it might have made him more effective at work. Who knows? It's not one I've ever done, so I don't have any idea how that would affect.
Roll up, ladies, gents, schools, townsfolk, and all identities. Step right up and pay the toll tax for the safety of the finest bridge in
I want to
all
kill him, but I don't know if he is friendly or not.
Don't be shy, it's only 10 tickets per...
Do I even have... I don't have 10 tickets.
And I promise, the view is worth every...
I will shoot you.
Now, I
Don't
know what you're
make me.
thinking.
There better be a charisma way out of this, but I don't think I've even had that much charisma.
Can just swim across the river. Well, let me tell you, my friend. The river is infested with all sorts of nasties.
Mm-hmm.
Rads, mitten lurks, you name it. Want to cross Tower Bridge? That's worst of all. Cannibals. Yes, you heard me right. Cannibals. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get eaten alive if you don't pay the toll tax. But let's just say that if you don't, you might end up on the menu yourself. And trust me, you don't want that. Not when
You're
you
talking
can
way
enjoy
too
the
much.
nice, juicy Brahmin
I think this is just them trying to be like, yeah, see, we fully voice acted everything.
Just look at this bridge. It's secure.
Oh my
safe,
god, stop talking.
a work of art.
I just want to either charisma you out of this, I want to riz you out of this,
Finest materials
or
and the sturdiest construction.
or kill you to get through this.
Ain't falling down in this
Which I
timeline.
only recently realized that that's where the term riz comes from, that it's just a shortening of charisma. I didn't know that. I didn't even know the term riz until I started dating my ex-girlfriend, who, like, the Instagram influencer ex-girlfriend, because she referred to me, like, flirting with her one time as, oh, you're trying to riz me up, ha ha ha, or something like that. And I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, you know, riz, like, you know, trying to pick someone up. You mean like flirting, like spitting game? I was like, sure, old man. Like, oh, okay. So that was how I determined the word riz. To be fair, one, riz is a younger generation term. Technically, it's more of a Gen Z term, and I'm a young millennial. But also, I just don't know anything that is pop culturally or whatever. I don't know any terms that are in the cultural zeitgeist. I'm just incredibly culturally inept. Are you gonna...
So, how about it?
I can't.
Can't make the
I'm poor. Oh, there is a Riz option. Uh-huh, and what kind of con are you running here?
Nothing too complicated, my friend. Just a simple toll scam. I collect the tickets and the boss takes his cut. Easy as pie. It's actually honest. We do keep it safe, you know.
I don't have the intelligence for that. You're a cannibal, right?
I love my veggies. I literally had some tasty potatoes and other bits and bobs earlier. Lovely jubbly. Nice guess, though.
Oh god, who is your boss?
That's not really for me to say. Or for you to know, my friend. Let's just say he's the type who'll suck your spleen out with a straw. So I do as he says. And you'll do as I says.
No, the hell I won't.
Now, before me and the lads get jumpy. 10 tickets. Fuck about and find out.
Oh, I'm about to, bud. I'm about to fuck about. Let's go! Where's my halberd? Oh my god.
Then scram.
What?
No.
I didn't mean to hit you, I'm so sorry! Oh god. I did this the wrong way. Why did I... Oh, yep. I should have just stabbed him. I should have just stabbed him by myself. If it's literally not going to let me, because it doesn't look like after he died that door opened at all, so I might need to go collect.
Then scram.
Yeah. Okay.
Think I won't hurt you.
Oh, I thought that was going to kill you. Shit. Okay, one mo again. Fuck. Hmm. I'm not paying. I could just use this, because that will kill him. Thank you. Oh, now the settlers hate me. Really? He was, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna need to go sell something and do this the right way. Apparently there's no Riz way around this. Or there is, but I don't have the Riz for it. Which is intelligence.
Then scram.
The Rizelligence. Intelligeriz. Jizz. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, there actually is one there. Okay, let me go Thames Haven Market, sell some shit, and see if I can, I think there should be a workbench somewhere around there, I think, too, because I want to see if I can modify my halberd and see if I can better armor. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing more of that storm right now. It doesn't seem to be raining, but it does seem to be blowing a lot. Or someone I can sell stuff to. Can I sell stuff to you? Yes, I can.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Apparently not. You're just tame folk. You don't have a name. That means you can't buy anything, which means you're worthless to me. Oh, fuck.
The fresh dry land. What are you about,
Weapons.
right?
Things might seem more expensive to me than usual, too, because I normally go real hard on charisma. Let's see here. Get rid of that. Get rid of the bladed tire iron, because I already know it's not as good. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Admiral's hat, boatswain's outfit, Jack Tar uniform, Lieutenant hat, Navy rating cap. Is there anything else I want to get rid of? Here, nope. I don't want to get rid of the junk because I kind of need it, but I'm not going to end up using this at all. Might end up using that. I don't know what the difference between these two is. It's 32 short. Wait, what the fuck? What did I sell that's worth so much? Okay, hold on. I don't know how I got to that point where I was selling stuff worth that much.
What are you buying?
Because I'm gonna... If it's nothing I want, then I'm gonna do that.
But take a look and see if
12, 7, 13, 13. 8, 8, 8. 2, 2 for the bosun's outfits. Jack-Tar uniform, Jack-Tar uniform, lieutenant hat, Navy rating cap. I'm not selling the raving mask. Did anyone see what I sold that took that to 1058? And then just shotgun shells and... I didn't even sell the fusion cells. Oh, I think I accidentally bought something. It was signaling me giving 1058, not the other way around. I'm stupid. God, I'm dumb. Do you have anything I want? Probably nothing I can afford. Well, let's see what Winston has.
your kind does watch where you're going.
My buddy Dan has a cat named Winston. Okay, he doesn't have shit. And I don't have... The fucking Christ! I don't have enough caps to get rid of rads, I don't think. Oh wait, you're not the doctor. You're the sales lady. You're the doctor over there with the nerd glasses.
Need help?
Good radiation. Yep. Okay, I have enough for the radiation at the very least.
Take care.
Okay. Wish I had some... I wish I had somewhere to sleep so that I could recover my health. Is there a perk? I have a high enough endurance. Is there a perk that they have in this version that will allow me to naturally recover rads? Because I know some... Can't remember... One of the games has that, or that might have been a mod that introduced that perk. I don't know. Whoops. Don't worry, buddy. Be not afraid. I'm trying to see if there's like an inn or something that I can rent for very cheap to heal myself.
The surface world gets louder and louder.
Oh yeah, you're
Welcome to
the fucking... Yeah.
here.
Yeah, no. You don't have it. I don't think there's an inn. At least I don't think there's an inn anywhere immediately nearby. You just spawned in out of nowhere, but okay. What's your name? Oh, just Dame Smoke. I thought it said something else. I thought you were someone special, someone that mattered, but apparently not. Oh, hotel! There it is. Perfect. Who do I talk to? Do I just sleep in a bed? Or on the floor? How do I rent the hotel? How do I rent a hotel room?
One day, I'll take my
Thames
family
folk,
to see
Thames
the
folk.
service. One day.
Do I go up here? I can't. What the hell? Hold on. I wanna wait. Oh wait, I don't know, 6 hours. See what happens. Nope.
Follow the rules, and you'll
No,
always be
go back to your own
You smell
kind.
that? Welcome. It's the town.
It's hotel, but there's nothing. Okay, cool, great. Thanks. What do you want?
Well, if it isn't our hero.
What do you do? Yes, it is I.
Well then, would our fearless warrior venture forth for the likes of me?
Oh, hell yeah.
I lost a lot of weight, you see. Mainly by cutting Lino's pizzas from my diet. And so I want you. No, I need you.
Ooh,
help me
to
get
tell.
close.
Oh, I'll help you with that. Sure, I can help you. What's wrong with the clothes down here?
It's not exactly the fashion capital of the world down here.
Is that high fashion?
Something that looks nice.
Why me?
Strength, perseverance, good fashions.
I'll mind you, I look like this. This is what I look like. That's good fashion sense. Sure, I can help you.
Good. I need something fashionable, something humans wear, but I don't want you stealing.
Okay.
The ferryman said there's an abandoned laundrette in Greenwich. That would be a good place to look.
You want high fashion from the trash. Okay, can do. I'll get you some new clothes.
Oh, thank you. Just make sure they're clean.
It's an
My hounds look
apocalypse out there, lady.
so proud of them.
But okay. I'll try to find you some clean clothes in a flooded wasteland. That's gonna go great for you. I don't know what you want. Okay, I know there is a... There's a workbench somewhere around here, because I used it before to upgrade the balisong. But I'm not sure where it is. Not go out there immediately. Nope, not there. Where, oh, where is the workbench? So I would like to see if I can upgrade the halberd any and potentially make some armor. But
Nothing like a swim.
sure,
Attempts to make you feel
a swim in highly irradiated, dirty water. There's a reason people hate you. Where is... Check down here. So I might have found it when I was roaming around trying to find the exit originally, because I was lost and stupid. I'm not crossing the water for this, though. That, I don't want to... I just freed myself of radiation. I'm not... Oh, there you are! I can't modify my... Well, son of a bitch. Whoops. I can modify this apparently, but I don't have any of the mods for it. Test subject suit. Armored test suit would make that actually more useful. I need armor 2, but that would make it more useful than what I'm currently... what I'm currently wearing, I think, because it's 30 and 5. And yeah, the coastal armor is 21 and 21. So this is more resistance to energy, but would be less resistant to ballistic. Okay, well that was the bench I knew of. Well, no, because it was a weapon workbench. So I modified my weapon. What? Okay. No. Holy shit. Okay. I'm going to quick save here because I'm not getting re-irradiated. It's too expensive to get unirradiated. I'm not going to get re-irradiated if I can avoid it. Is that cheesy? Yes. Am I doing it anyways? Also, yes. Fuck! Okay, that's just... that... Oh my god, let me up! Luckily, that's only 10. And this was a pointless thing. It's only 10, so I'm not going to bother loading from the quick save, because if I can handle a little bit of health loss, but goddamn, that 250 water outside is insane. They already make you really squishy, but then making it like, so yeah, you're super squishy, which anyone can kill you in 2 hits anyways, but also, we're going to make pretty much everywhere you go sap half of your health away. Mine. No! Oh. Better send me an email. I think it's just one of the standard ones, but I always check. Oh yeah, okay. Yep. They do. I don't know when this started, but they do now whenever I like schedule payments. Whenever I I schedule a payment, or whenever I pay like any bill by using my bank account instead of even if I use my debit card, I think this has been happening to pay the bill, it will... Oh, sleeping bag. Convenient. It will list it, it'll send me an email when it processes saying there was a withdrawal from your account, which for a while there freaked me out because I'm like, I didn't withdraw any money from my account, but it's just saying, yeah, it always says withdrawal from your account, but then I realized the numbers were syncing up perfectly, so it was clearly not like it was clearly the payment I made, but like the first several times it happened, I'd freak out like, oh my god, someone stole my information. What? I would not mind having more like 2-factor authentication at banks, where it's like, we're going to send something to your phone. You have to approve it through your phone to talk to the bank teller. One, that'd be annoying if I'm just trying to deposit a check, but still. But I also know there would end up being some time where my phone is broken and I need to go to the bank before I get my phone fixed, and they'd be like, well, sorry, you can't access your bank because your bank account because your phone's broken. Which I know I have 2-factor authentication on my like account, but that's for like accessing online. I mean, to be fair, at the bank, anytime I'm trying to withdraw money at the bank, they ask for my ID, which is kind of, good. Postbox was designed and built by Upton Burke to help the overencumbered Crown mail postage service. It was not well received after the incident. Is the incident what they're calling the Great War, or is there something else going on that they're being very surreptitious about? Okay, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. First, I'm checking something. Oh, be right back. So I thought it wasn't raining because from the look from my window, like there's no rain on this window here. But I guess since the rain is coming straight down, it's not splashing onto the window. But when I got up, I saw it is pouring rain because there's that whole, tropical monsoon thing coming around. So that makes sense. Where's the dude I need to pay? Can I get over, like, where? Dude, where do I pay the guy? I want to get through. Do I have to wait until morning or something? Oh shit. Hi, buddy. Hi, I didn't even notice his name. Beefy. Jesus.
It's still
Here are the tickets.
Great decision. The best decision you've made since you crawled out your mother's womb.
I didn't choose to do that. I wouldn't have made that
Now
decision.
enjoy the beautiful views the bridge has to offer. Experience the majesty of its paving.
It's paving. Okay. What the fuck? Door was just open. That was quick. I'm gonna have to do that every time. Well, I guess as long as I unlock a fast travel point. Although that would be an interesting mechanic in games like this when they have, like, hey, you have to pay a toll, or there's something that stops you from getting across this way that you have to earn your way across every time. If they didn't let you fast travel to the other side, it'd be an interesting mechanic. It would be annoying as hell. Unless it's like, if you want to fast travel here, it costs you 10 tickets, and you just click the button, and it's just one extra button, rather than have you fast travel to the bridge and then cross the bridge. Let's go. You already here?
Hold in there, friend.
Why?
You'll be as good as new.
Why did you make me do all of this? Why did you make me do all of this?
Right.
There's clearly, if I play this through again, I'm going to need to pay a lot more attention to the story, because clearly I'm missing something.
There you are. Do me a favor.
It's a cool robot.
And send out a signal on that beacon up there.
Okay.
There you go. Try switching on your navigation system.
Navigation systems online.
Better?
Did it work?
Yes.
Good boy.
Well, don't sound too enthused.
Okay.
I hope the journey was
Why did I have to make it? Why didn't you just...
Getting over the Thames is no easy feat without a vessel.
I think it was because they mentioned... Yeah, that's right, because he mentioned that you can't fit 3 people on the boat safely. But also, with that boat, yes, you can. How does this boat not... It's got seating for 6 to 9 people, plus someone up there. How is this boat not going to make it with 3 people? Who's your robot friend? What happened?
This is Barry, my dear seafaring friend. A flock of pigeons laid a nest in his circuits. They washed up on the rocks. I'm not sure which happened first.
What do those beacons do?
Barry's navigation data corrupted. Had to be wiped. Those Mariner beacons transmit the data he needs to sail between places. Acting as a kind of waypoint. Without them, he'd be bobbing around aimlessly like a jellyfish. There's quite a few beacons along the Thames.
Okay. About that underground laboratory.
We retraced the boy's steps while searching for spare parts for Barry. It's not far up the road. The entrance is beneath that old monument. The tall one with the golden urn atop a pillar.
Okay.
From what I've heard, it was built to commemorate the first Great Fire of London.
Oh. Did you go in?
No. We kept a
Coward.
distance.
Do you want to come with me?
I'm in no condition to fight. Besides, I have a friend
Excuses.
to take care of.
I'm not ready to go back there. That place was horrible.
Oh. Ugh. How many great fires of London have there been?
3. There was the original. That was before the war.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the war. That was the second one.
Kind of
Then we
conceited
had
making it about
another
yourself.
one 50 years ago.
It's not the Great Fire of London, that's the Great Fire of the world.
The boy knows his history.
Okay, I'll be on my way.
Hey, those people I was with, they're the closest thing I have to family. Please rescue them, or find out what happened. If you do, I'll know where that ghoul was headed. The one I escaped with. He might be able to help you. He said he knew about other labs.
Oh.
Here's that key. The boy
So now I gotta go do more work for you just to find this lab. And I haven't even unlocked a settlement yet, but is this all still... Oh, wait, no, because I skipped that one... Now I remember, I skipped the one quest because it wasn't letting me defend the Swan and Mitra at all. For some reason. Okay, let's go over to the... Let's unlock that fast travel point so I don't have to talk to this asshole again. And then I'm going to go see if reloading will make it let me go to the Swan and Mitra. Or let me do the Swan and Mitra stuff. Because it was just not letting me. It just kept saying defend the Swan and Mitra, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have. There's no one else there. Okay, Ferryman Dockhouse, that's good enough. Where's the Swan and Mitra? There you are.
Touch me again and there'll be consequences.
The fuck? Okay, hold on. Let me do something real quick anyways. This will give me a moment. Hold on. Yep, need to restart Fallout. But how's everyone doing today? Everyone who's still here. How y'all doing? Okay. Just dicking around on my phone real quick. Confirm. Did it load me? But also, I don't remember where I was going. Oh, I was going to Swanamitra because I was trying to see if restarting fixed that. It wasn't letting me finish the damn quest. Really wild. Okay. Am I there? Nope. It did. It did save. It saved right before I fast travel because that's how it does it. That way, if you fast travel somewhere where you're immediately getting wrecked, you can, change your mind. Ugh. Okay, well, maybe it doesn't want me going to the Swanamitra right now. So I guess I shan't. Stop. Stop. Streamlabs is being annoying. Okay, let's try this one more time. Actually, I'm going to move this to. I'm going to move this right over here. Continue. Let's go. Let's try it this way then. Hold on. Run as administrator? Yes. Work. Go. Okay, let's see. Task manager. By name, so it doesn't jump around on me a whole lot. Is there something that is running that shouldn't be running? In task. Oh my god, just end task. Damn. This bunch of stuff. That. Close that. Open this. Everything should be fine. Now, let's try this again. Okay. Come on, load. Please just load. Why being difficult? It's being a pain in the ass. But no, what I was thinking about saying before the thing fucking crashed, and I was going to start talking about was the storm is reminding me of when I was in
These are the two dangers.
Oh, hello. When I was stationed in Florida, I think this might have been 2014 or 2015. I was still in the barracks. I hadn't made E5 yet. And there's a tropical storm coming through. A tropical storm starts coming, or no, it was a hurricane coming through. Originally, it was categorized as a hurricane. It was a pretty high category, like I think it might have been a Cat 3, which is for Florida, whatever. But hurricane coming through. So the command put out that they wanted everyone to evacuate the area. They wanted everyone gone for their own safety. Unless you were one of the people that was still living in the barracks. If you were E4 and below and living in the barracks, you didn't get to evacuate. You did not evacuate. In fact, what they had you do instead was we were all scheduled. There's about like 6 of us that ended up having to do this and ended up getting picked to do this because that, again, was a very top-heavy command. That was very top-heavy command, so there weren't a lot of people in the barracks to begin with, and then they just kind of picked 6 of us that were in the barracks. We had to stay. Fucking birds aren't real. I knew it. Hold on. I need to favorite this real quick. I favorite it as 1. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the halberd. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Fake government birds. Ah. Boom. That's what you get. That's what you get, Illuminati. Anyways. They had the 6 of us that were E4 and below. The 6 of us that were chosen from the E4 and belows that were still in the barracks. We were told to not evacuate during the hurricane that was coming into Cat 3 that was coming in. We were told to go to work. And not just go to work. The day before the hurricane was supposed to make landfall, or the afternoon before the hurricane was supposed to make landfall, we were to drive into work. We would be let in. We would sleep there overnight, essentially locked in, because we were going to be let in, and then the base security was going to lock every door to the building and, lock up the gate to the campus that the command was on and basically shut down the entire everything. Everything was closed. Everything was going to be locked. So we were going to be locked in the building, sleeping there overnight in the middle of a Cat 3 hurricane, because if our job, why we were going to be there, was because if the hurricane busted the windows out of the building, we were supposed to go through and start grabbing all the paperwork and everything that might be loose, any papers, anything that might be loose, grab it all up. And if cabinets open, grab everything out of that. But any paperwork that might get loose, grab it all up and start taking it to be shredded. Like, gather it up so it won't fly out the windows, and take it to be shredded, just in case there was anything sensitive or secure on those papers. technically anything that's sensitive secure is supposed to be locked up, but they knew, one, people don't listen, so people might have stuff that is not locked up, and two, just in case like the cabinets broke or they started like getting sucked out the windows or something like that. So in the event that the hurricane was dangerous enough was strong enough to bust open these really, really strong windows that they had that were built to withstand hurricanes, we were not supposed to avoid the windows and doors and everything like they tell you to do when a hurricane is coming. We were supposed to go really, really close to those windows to grab paperwork and shit that people didn't secure properly so that we could shred it so that nothing sensitive happened to leak out. Now, because it was a hurricane, we were not allowed to bring any food that would need to be refrigerated. In fact, we were specifically told, they told everyone to clean out the entirety of the refrigerators, and we were told not to bring anything that needed refrigerated, and that we were not even allowed to open the refrigerators, because if the power went out, or if they shut the power off, I can't remember if they were going to shut the power off just in case, or if they was just concerned that the power would go out. They didn't want shit that could potentially spoil being in those refrigerators. Even though, like, really, the hurricane was only going to be over us for, like, a day, so we could have, like, had them in the refrigerators, and the refrigerators would just act like an insulated box so that we could keep cold stuff in there. We weren't allowed to bring anything that could need to be refrigerated, just in case the power went out. Oh. Okay. But just in case the power went out, we weren't allowed to bring anything that needed to be refrigerated. They had cots for us. They had these real shitty military cots, if you're familiar at all with what those look like. They're really annoying cots. We were allowed to bring snacks, but we were told that we shouldn't bring chips or anything that would crumble, or we weren't allowed to bring fruit. We weren't allowed to bring anything that could potentially go bad. But they also didn't want us to bring chips or crackers or anything that could get crumbly and make crumbs all over the place, because then there might be a mess, and that would have to be cleaned up later, which, so what? You have to vacuum later. We're being stuck in a hurricane in a building overnight that does not have any power. You can't have your phones in that building, so we weren't allowed to have phones or anything, obviously. So there would be, like, we were encouraged, bring board games or bring a book or something like that. But also, the lights are all going to be shut off, and we don't want the lights turned on. So here's some lamps, like some electric lamps that you could potentially use to see. But also, they're battery powered, so don't waste them, because you might need them if the hurricane busts out the windows in the middle of the night and you need to start shredding stuff. So actually don't use those lamps, because you might need to use those to see the stuff you need to shred. Also, what's up? How are you? Yeah. But, where was I going with that? But also, since you can't have any food that could spoil, because they didn't want us, like, eating an apple and then leaving the core in the trash can, and then that going bad and getting fruit flies while everyone else is evacuated and safe. Since you can't bring any food that can spoil, and we don't want you to bring any crackers or anything that could be crumbly, so it means pretty much anything boxed or anything preserved, anything that would open from a can, because that could spoil. Anything in a box was probably like chips or crackers or cookies or something, and to get super crumbly. So you can't bring. We all planned, like, listen, we're bringing chips and shit. We can't bring any of that. What we can do is we have a bunch of MREs, and we could give you MREs to eat. But we are going to charge you. We're going to take from your paycheck $20 for every MRE. And to be fair, like, an MRE is like 5,000 calories, so that'll get you through a day, and probably the next day too if you're not doing too much. But it doesn't, like, it's still only a small physical amount of food, so it only fills you up so much. It stops you up real bad. But you could take the MREs. You can definitely take the MREs, but we will take $20 from your paycheck if you take the MRE. So, just be mindful of that. And we're like, we're not taking fucking MREs. We're going to bring crackers and shit. And that was their whole plan, was to have 6 of us. One, it was a big enough building that if the windows busted open, and there were enough windows, that if the windows busted open and started sucking paper out, there was no way, like, the 6 of us could do it. There's no way the 6 of us could easily grab all the paperwork from all the sides of the building that had windows before stuff started getting sucked out. So that was poor planning in and of itself. And also, we weren't going to be staying. We weren't going to be sleeping. Like, we weren't going to be, like, placed in the room, in the part of the building, the floor of the building that had the stuff that they were most concerned about us getting to. Because where they had us staying was somewhere that didn't have any windows, just in case the windows broke open, because we don't want you getting hit by the glass until it's time for you to do your job. But the floor behind the floor that, like, the part of the building, the area that we were going to be doing most of the shredding and gathering in was behind a door with an electric lock that can't be opened without power. So if they're worried about there not being power, there was no way for us to get into that area anyways. So I don't really know what their plan was. I know damn well that if something happened, we would have gotten yelled at for it, even if it was their poor planning, because damn well they would have been like, well, you should have kicked down the door. The door's like steel reinforced. Well, you didn't bring a arc welder to open the door? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing what we told you to do poorly? Anyways, luckily, we were told, okay, if it gets, like, lowered down to a Cat 1 hurricane, we'll call you before this time. If it gets lowered down to a Cat 1 hurricane, you won't have to come in, because the windows will be able to handle that more than well. So wait until this time to do that. And luckily, I was out, like, I was getting ready to head out, like, to head to base to do this, to wait in a room without power and no good food or anything overnight in the middle of a hurricane, just in case something breaks. When we got the call or we all got the text that was like, hey, it got lowered to a tropical storm, you guys don't need to come in. It's like, oh, thank God. That wouldn't even be, like, one, it's stupid. It would have been potentially dangerous, but whatever. Join the military, it's dangerous part of it. But it would have just been, like, completely boring and pointless. This is what I was more concerned about, was just, like, once it's too dark out for there to be much light, which there weren't any windows in that room anyway, so, like, I don't know how much light there would have been. But it was stupid. It was really stupid. But we got the text that it got lowered to a tropical storm and got told we didn't have to come in, so that was good. Oh, fuck. Ah! Go. Let's see if I can snipe those from over here. Let's go. And bam. Oh, I have plenty of bullets for this. 3 shots should do it. Yes. Hold on. Okay. Where's the other one? Oh, fuck! God damn it. Come on. They make you this squishy, and then they... Oh, okay. They make you this squishy, and then they make you go somewhere that has... What is that? 5 turrets now? 1, 2... That third one I just destroyed. 4 and 5 back there. 6, because there's another one over there? Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm just following the main quest line, and I feel like I'm just incredibly underleveled. I feel like that's what they're telling me, is that I am ridiculously underleveled for this right now. Because I'm dying so easy. Even with high-level endurance. Level 7 endurance out of 10. That's pretty good endurance. Damn. Let's go. But no, that was also the same command where I danced with the command sergeant major's daughter at the Navy Ball, and she was a former Green Beret. So that was interesting. But that happened because I was the youngest sailor at that command. I was the youngest sailor, and there's a tradition in the Navy where the youngest sailor and the oldest sailor at a command during the Navy birthday, October 13th, 1775, if you believe it. 1 year before the Declaration of Independence. Hold on. Responding to something. Yeah, for the Navy birthday, there is a cake cutting ceremony, and we did the cake cutting ceremony. I want to say we did the cake cutting ceremony on the Navy birthday, and then we had the Navy Ball a few days later. So we had the cake cutting ceremony on October 13th. I turned 19 my second day at that command, which was really funny because I showed up to the command, and I'm being led around by my sponsor, and hold on, I fucked up the stream manager thing again. Did I upload that? Yep. I showed up to my command. I'm being led around by my sponsor. And obviously, like, I'm 18. I look really young. And everyone's like, a lot of the older guys especially like, dude, man, how old are you? How old? Because also, since this was a top-heavy command, a lot of people that were there were already at least in their mid-20s or older. So there was very few of us that were, 18. Man, how old are you? Blah, blah, blah. So, you got such a baby face, blah, blah, blah. How old are you? Like, oh, I'm 18. I'm 18. I get shown around my command. I'm in my dress whites. And just side tangent to that. Side tangent to the side tangent. I get showed around my command. I'm in my dress whites. And in the Navy, you have warfare pins, which are just like you go through a set of quals, you take a test, and then you go to a board where they quiz you on this thing. But it shows like a level of proficiency or knowledge with different skill sets. So like there's the surface warfare pin, which is the most standard one in the Navy, and then there's a few other ones. This was my first command, and you can't get that warfare pin in training, so I didn't have that pin. I also had Seaman Apprentice rank on my arm, and no medals that I didn't get out of boot camp. So it should be pretty obvious. This is probably my first command, and I still have this first class who is so incredibly out of regs to begin with. First of all, he's retiring as an E6, which my rate promoted pretty fast. So retiring as an E6 is how? How do you not make chief? How do you not make chief in that rate after 20 years? But he's pretty close to retiring. He was also so incredibly out of regs that you can see his blue undershirt between the buttons in his uniform because his stomach was so large it was pushing open his blouse. That's what we call the overshirt in the NWs, in NWUs. And he walks up to when he gets introduced to me. He looks at me. He looks at my chest where you would see my medals and see my warfare qualifications, and says, "Why don't you have a pin? Why don't you have a warfare qualification?" And at that point, I actually didn't really know much about it. I knew what it was because when I went to A&C school back to back, and we had some fleet returnees that we talked to, and the instructors had it too, but I didn't really ask them too many questions. What the fuck is that, by the way? That's what that is. That is, fuck you is what that is. But anyways, like I talked to one of the third classes I was friends with in C school, and they explained to me like the basics of the pin. But I didn't know that it was something that I wouldn't be able to get at my first command at first, or until I got to my command at first, because like I'm brand new to the Navy. What do I know? And he's like, why do you have your pin? I was like, I don't know, petty officer. I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. I was like, and I end up asking the guy that showed me around, like, how do I get that? Should I have had that already? He's like, no, I have no clue why he asked you that. Like, it's gonna take you a little while to get that. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, just the audacity of that dude. Why don't you have your pins when he's so out of regs that you can see his shirt underneath his blouse? Which even if he is that overweight, get a new blouse, get a larger size. But yeah, then the second day I come in, I'm still being introduced to some more people and getting some more accounts set up, because like your first week or two at a command is oftentimes just getting set up for accounts and going through like different trainings and stuff. The second day I come in, I'm being introduced to some more people, and one of the guys... Is this inaccessible still? Yep. One of the it was a sergeant first class that was in charge of my division. Is introducing me to someone as well, and he's just like, "Man, how would you say you were again?" It's like, because he's introduced me to someone. He is like, "Yeah, this is our young guy, dude. He's basically a baby. How old did you say you were again?" And I was like, I'm 19, Sergeant. He's like, didn't you say you were 18 yesterday? It's like, yep. It's like, today's your birthday. I'm like, yep. It's like, oh. Okay, we're going to get you home early. Let's finish this up real quick. It says, and walks off and leaves. Or walks off, like, brushes the guy off, and we leave and go do the rest of the stuff that I need to do before he can get me out of there. Oh my god. Holy shit. Can I destroy these now? Nope. But yeah, so I was the youngest sailor at the command. I got there in August. August 5th, I got there. And the Navy birthday is October 13th, so I just freshly turned 19. I barely know anyone there. I know like a few people, but I wouldn't say I was really friends with anyone yet. I just had a few acquaintances that I kind of hung out with sometimes and talked to. So on the Navy birthday, the oldest and youngest sailor do what's called the cake cutting ceremony. Which, oh god, fuck, oh no, go! I did made this mistake before. Okay. 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 Nope. But the cake cutting ceremony is the oldest and youngest sailor come up, they read like this whole speech that someone prepares, the master of ceremonies prepares, and they read this whole speech about the Navy and blah blah blah, hoo-yah, we're great. And the oldest and youngest sailor take a cutlass. There's a cake, there's a big cake, take a cutlass, grab it together, and they cut the cake together. And then there's a whole, like, you know, celebration or whatever afterwards. Our admiral, I love this admiral is great. Our admiral really did things his own way. Because he was like, yes, I am, oh god, no, no, I'm not dying again. Because he was like, after the Master of Ceremonies comes up, after the Master of Ceremonies reads their whole speech and hoo-yah Navy and blah blah blah, and they had like a Navy, you could Google it. They had a Navy like advertising video basically to the Rev Theory song "Hell Yeah," playing on the big ass TV in there, and the admiral's like, "Yes, I know, I'm technically the oldest active duty sailor here, but I happen to know that Master Chief such and such, who is retired but once a chief, always a chief, is older than me. So get on up here." And so it's me, him, and the Master Chief. Me, the Admiral, and the Master Chief. We cut the cake. We cut the cake, and he cuts it into three. And we were just supposed to cut the cake. We were just supposed to cut the cake, and then we were going to leave, and someone was going to cut the rest of the cake into nice pieces, and there's like a serving table, and everyone could come get some cake and food and shit. But he has us cut it in two more pieces. He doesn't tell any of us that he's doing this. So I'm just still holding onto this cutlass, wondering when I'm supposed to let go, when he's moving around, cutting it into three slices for us, and tells us all to, and puts it on the blade of the cutlass, the three tiny little slices on the blade of the cutlass, and holds it like to our faces and says, "Okay, ready, at a double time, eat." And we're like, okay, and we grab the cake real quick and eat it. And it's like, okay, because he just did things his own way. He was great. This is also where I met the General Kelly for the first time. Because he was the 4-star at that command. And I got told when I was preparing to go to the Navy, when I showed up early for the cake cutting ceremony to prep and be told what all I needed to do, I was told, okay, I was told, okay, so after the ceremony, everyone's going to go into the foyer for the conference center, and just make sure you hang around, because a lot of the old guys are going to come up and talk shit and make fun of you for being young and blah blah blah. Just hang around for a little bit. Like, okay, I can do that. So I'm out in the foyer, and I'm just kind of standing there. I don't want any cake. I'm just kind of standing there. Where am I supposed to go? So I'm in the foyer. I'm just standing there. And different people are coming up to me and saying, "Oh my god, how old they say you were again?" Because they read off my birthday. "How old they say you were again?" I was like, I'm 19. "Holy shit, you're young. You're my daughter's age. You're this age. I could be your dad. I could be your mom. I could whatever. Like, oh my god, when I was 19, I was doing this. I was here, blah blah blah." Like, okay, cool. I'm talking to some commander, so an 05. And this commander's about my height, but General Kelly is very tall. How tall is General Kelly? Hold on. Yeah, General Kelly's 6'3". I'm 5'9". So I am statistically perfectly average for a man in every way. In every way. God damn it, this keeps going down. Run. Yeah. I'm 5'9". General Kelly's 6'3". I'm talking to this commander who's about my height, maybe a little bit shorter than me, honestly. And I'm facing him, and I just see him look up, and I see like a shadow kind of fall over me. I see him look up and say, "Okay, have a nice day," and turn around and get a smirk on his face and leave. And then I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and I'm staring into someone's chest, and I look up, and I see 4 stars on a shoulder, 4 stars on a collar, and I see 4 stars on a collar, and General Kelly's face, who has that kind of look of your super nice grandpa who dropped bodies. Like that, I'm gonna be really nice, but I could destroy you. And he's just got this smile on his face, this kind of like nice kind of smirk kind of smile on his face, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hand, sir. I don't know what to do with my hand, sir. And he's just like, you're fine, get at ease, and starts talking to me. He was like, so you're 19, yeah, so this is your first command? It's like, oh, yeah, yes, sir, absolutely, sir, yes, sir. He's like, oh, yeah, it's really cool. This is a good first command to start at. You'll get a lot of training. You'll get a lot of stuff. You know, it's a pretty good deal. Deal. Oh, yeah, yes, sir. It's like, well, you know, I'm going to be at I'm probably going to try to make it to the Navy ball, so I'll see you there. But, you know, until then, have a good time. You know, and keep up the good work. Like, okay. It's like, I was in E2. I was 19, and I just came face to face with a 4-star general that was just talking to me like I was just, you know, his buddy or his you know, his grandson or his nephew, whatever. And I was just like, I don't know what to do with that. But anyways, cut to the Navy ball. We did the Navy ball on like a yacht. It wasn't like a huge yacht. It was like a small yacht that the command rented for the afternoon to do the Navy ball on. This was a joint command, so we had Navy. It was the Navy ball, but anyone that was invited that was from the other branches could go. So, of course, the Command Sergeant Major was invited, so he went. The Command Sergeant Major was a former Green Beret. He had been a Green Beret, and then he cross-trained into the job. Either he cross-trained into the job he had now, or he just assumed the Command Sergeant Major position, so he wasn't acting as a Green Beret. I don't know. But the Command Sergeant Major was a Green Beret. Command Sergeant Major was at the ball. I don't know a lot of people there. I enjoy dancing, but I don't know how to dance, so I'm very shy about it. And back then, when I was 19, I was incredibly shy about it. So after the dinner portion, we redo like a pseudo cake cutting ceremony. When I picked up my dress whites from the cleaners, side tangent, when I picked up my dress whites from the cleaners, because I got them cleaned and pressed, they screwed it up and they put the crease on the wrong part. So my dress whites were all screwed up. And I didn't have time to fix it. But I didn't know too many people. After we completed like the dinner part of it, and the dance floor was opened up, everyone goes up to the dance floor. I was 19, but like all the first classes there especially were trying to like sneak me drinks and sneak me wine and shit, and I just kept being like, no. I thought it was a test. I thought it was a trick. In truth, they didn't care. Like it's the military. Who cares? Like, no. So I am completely sober, surrounded by everyone there outranks me, and I don't really know any of them. And there's a dance floor, and I am scared to dance in front of them. So I'm just standing off to the side of the dance floor. Meanwhile, I watch our admiral, the same admiral from the cake cutting. This is the same admiral from the cake cutting story, but this is the same admiral from the story about the mass admiral's mast, the open admiral's mast. And I'm standing on the side, and I watch the admiral on the dance floor with a huge cigar hanging out of his mouth and a beer in his hand, doing like the Cupid Shuffle, but the Cupid Shuffle wasn't playing, if that makes sense. It's like, what am I watching? And just a whole bunch of the people really senior to me, just drunk out of their minds, being goofy as hell, and I don't know what to make of it. I'm convinced this is all just a test. I'm standing there, a few people try to grab me. Johnston, dance, come on, dance. It's like, I don't really know how to dance. No, I'm good. I'm like, okay, whatever. Man, Sergeant Major, who had brought his, pretty attractive 19-year-old daughter, comes walking up to me like this. He comes like sidestepping up to me like this. And he was also a giant of a man. Comes right over to me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I just kind of get to like a half parade rest, but like at ease, parade rest, legs out, but hands in front of me. He's like, so, it's pretty weird when a 50-year-old man comes up to a 19-year-old kid and says, what's up? It's like, yes, Sergeant Major, yes, if that's what you say, yes, Sergeant Major, sure. Like, so, if you ask, he's like, so, if you asked my daughter to dance, she would probably say yes. I was like, He's like, I'll go ask her for you. He's like, I'll go ask her for you. It's like, oh, Sergeant Major, no, I'll come over. Just give me a second. I'll come over. I'll ask her, because I'm scared to dance with the Sergeant Major's daughter, but I also don't want someone's dad asking them to dance for me. I don't know if I'm more scared of Sergeant Major's daughter or more embarrassed at the idea of someone's dad asking them to dance with me. So I compose myself. I walk over. I try not to make eye contact with Sergeant Major. And I say, hey, I noticed you're not dancing. Just, pretty blonde girl. I say, hey, I noticed you're not dancing. I was wondering if you'd like to dance with me. She's like, yes, I'd love to dance with you. So we get up, we find a spot not far from her dad, not far from the Sergeant Major. I need you to die real quick. I need this turret to stop shooting at me. Bam. You should run out of bullets at some point. Jesus. So we find a place to dance, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do I'm not a good dancer. I like dancing, but I'm not a good dancer. But I'm gonna do every goofy possible dance I can. I'm not gonna dance seriously at all. I'm not gonna use any amount of rhythm that I don't have anyways. So I'm like doing the sprinkler and the lawnmower and the running man and just every embarrassing dance I can to display to the Sergeant Major, who's right over there, sitting down, staring at me the entire time. The entire time we were dancing, if he wasn't actively talking to someone, he was watching me. And at one point, like, a slow dance came on, and she goes to, like, put her hands on my shoulders so we could do that dance. And I was like, I looked at him, and he's just like, it's okay. You can do it. You can dance with her. So we dance. But I don't know. I'm so intimidated by everything. So the night starts coming to an end. And, it was fun. It was fun. After I loosened up a bit, like, I was still, like, that Sergeant Major was staring at me the whole time. But after I loosened up a bit, I had a good bit of fun. Night comes to an end. And I'm saying, some goodbyes to people. We're pulling up to the port, and DJ's saying, okay, songs, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. I'm saying goodbyes to people. And I walk over to Sergeant Major. I say thank you. I say to the girl that I was dancing with, Sergeant Major's daughter. I say, hey, thank you for dancing with me. I had a lot of fun. It was a good time. She's like, I had fun too. Blah blah blah. I walk over to Sergeant Major. I shake his hand. I said, it was nice to meet you, Sergeant Major, because this was the first time I actually formally met him. It was nice to meet you, Sergeant Major. You know, thank you for getting me to dance. I had a lot of fun. He's like, yeah. You know, you seem like a good kid. Blah blah blah. And then I turn around, I leave, and I say one more goodbye to his daughter. And there was like a few people that I was kind of buddy with there. And one of them walks up behind me when I'm saying goodbye the second time to Sergeant Major's daughter and goes, he wants your number. And she goes, do you want my number? And Sergeant Major is right behind her, staring down at me like, what are you going to do? Huh? There is a right answer here. I'm like, sure. Yeah, give me your number. She puts her number in my phone. And it says, text me your number. I was like, or text me so I have your number. So I text her, and the whole time I'm like, I don't know if that was the right move. Is Sergeant Major going to kill me? Was that the right move? Am I going to just disappear? I'm just going to be removed from all records? What? Oh, God. But, you know, me and her start texting. Hold on. Give me a second. I need you to stop. I'm going to quick save here this time. Me and her start texting back and forth, but like, and yeah, she's a pretty girl and she seems sweet, but like, I do not want to get, one, into a relationship with anyone in my chain of command's daughter, two, with my command sergeant major's daughter, who is also a Green Beret, because sure, if the relationship goes well, it's great, and yeah, my girlfriend's dad / maybe wife's daughter wife's my girlfriend's dad / wife's dad is you know, high ranking in the military. May that be good for me, whatever. But also, if it goes badly, one, maybe he takes if we break up and we break up poorly, maybe he takes it out on me and ruins my career. Maybe I just get disappeared and no one ever sees me again. Hold on, if someone's calling me from Oklahoma. The Cherokee Nation decided to call me. That was weird. I mean, I'm a registered member of the tribe, so it makes sense, but they've never done that before. Where was I? But yeah, I'm like, okay, like we're texting back and forth. I'm like, okay, I don't want to date the Sergeant Major's daughter. Yes, she's a pretty girl. Yes, she seems sweet. There's too much risk in dating the Sergeant Major's daughter. If it goes poorly, maybe he tries to tank my career. Like, if it goes well, sure, great, fine. But if it goes poorly, if we break up and it's a bad breakup, maybe he tries to tank my career. Also, he's a Green Beret. Maybe I just get disappeared and no one ever sees me again and no one asks any questions about it. So, I don't want to ghost her. One, because I hate ghosting people. I also don't want to lead her on because I don't want her to think anything's going to happen, because that would also potentially hurt her and, in the long run, hurt me through him. So I'm replying to her every text. I'm replying in the way that makes me seem as boring as humanly possible. I'm not giving like one-word responses or anything because I don't want her to think I'm just blowing her off, but I'm also replying in ways like, what are your interests? Like, I don't really do anything. And she'd be like, so do you like this? Like, no, I don't really like doing that. And I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that, blah, blah, blah. I just make myself seem as uninteresting as possible. So she's the one that doesn't want to pursue anything. And eventually, you know, the texting back and forth stops. She stops texting me, and I never text her. So it's fine. Conversation's ended. It's about 2 weeks after the Navy ball, and I'm coming back to my desk. I'm coming back to my workstation. And right next to my workstation was the IT section with all the ITs, so anyone that needed stuff done had to go near my workstation. And as I'm coming back, I see Sergeant Major standing there talking to all the ITs. Like, they're all gathered in a circle, and they're all looking at him, and he's talking to all the ITs. And I just like, oh shit, and I try to put my head down and sneak by. And I just hear, Johnston! Like, yes, Sergeant Major. Like, I walk up to him, yes, Sergeant Major. He's like, so, I noticed you never asked my daughter out. And one of the ITs just goes, oh shit! And he just goes, oh shit! And walks away. Like, it's... And I was like, he's like, no, it's fine. You know, I'm really glad you were there. I'm really glad she had someone her age. You know, she had a lot of fun. I really appreciate you for that. I'm gonna bury you in my backyard. And then walks away and just leaves. He didn't need anything. He didn't need anything from the ITs. He was there for me. He found out where I worked, went over, waited for me to come back to my desk, and just was talking to people until he saw me, just to say that to me. Like, oh, okay. And one of the ITs is like, dude, what did you do? I was like, I danced with his daughter at the Navy ball. He's like, why would you do that? I was like, he asked me to! After that, every single time that this man saw me alone with people that he had not told this story to, he would walk up, stop whatever he was doing, walk up to this group of people, and be like, "Hey, can you believe this asshole had the hey, can you believe this asshole had the audacity to ask my daughter to dance at the Navy ball in front of me?" And the first few times, I was like, well, Sergeant Major is like, she had fun. I'm going to bury you in my backyard. And then he'd leave. After a while, once I'd got, used to the command and more familiar with him and whatnot, he'd walk up. Can you believe this asshole asked my daughter to dance in front of me? I'd be like, Sergeant Major, you asked me to. Stop lying to these nice people. And one of them was like a new army sergeant that he said that with, and I said, "Stop lying to these nice people." And the army sergeants were like, "Whoa, that is a sergeant major," and Sergeant Major's just like, "Hey, it's fine, it's cool. I'm gonna bury you in my backyard," and walked away. Like, God damn it! But he was a really cool dude. We'd see each other in the gym sometimes, and at one point when I will not confirm or deny whether or not I was over the age of 21, me and some buddies were going to Walgreens to pick up some drinks. And he happened to be there and saw us picking up those drinks and knew my age, again, because it was announced to the entire command, and just walked by and said, "Be safe, I wouldn't want to have to bury you in my backyard." He just walked by and was like, "You better be safe. Wouldn't want to bury you in my backyard." It's like, God damn. But he was a really cool dude. I liked him a lot. Let's see if I can beat this thing. Actually, I just realized what time it is. I should probably... if I could beat this thing now, I'm going to do it. If not, I'm going to... Why did I trap myself in this corner again? That was a bad idea. Will this do it? Okay. Did it heal itself? Oh, you piece of shit. You better not be healing yourself. Musket. I can kind of juke him. He's not too fast. This musket takes forever to load. Come on. Yeah. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I don't have any healing shit. Okay, luckily he doesn't seem to want to go up the stairs, so that's good for me. Okay, come on. Is this supposed to be like the British version of Super Mutants? Is that what we're supposed to assume that this is? Because the FEV was created by, I think, the Enclave, essentially. I just need you to die. There you go. Chameleon Hugin, right arm. Clone meat. Is that special? Does it do anything extra? Nope, just dead in health. Okay, I beat that. The music is still going. That's suspicious to me. Okay. Automatically corrupted, okay. Just log lab shutdown. Okay, return to Archie and the Ferryman. I am going to end this here because I gotta go somewhere. So I'm gonna call it short today. To end this, let's see. Let's see, who is playing Fallout 4? Here. Bam. Do. Bam. Okay.